in our case, what was written in our case is what's that thing said written in our case? It was written as forged certificate. You know, if you're counting the list of our prayers, 1, drug dealing, 2, forged certificates, 3, 25%, 4, INEC, IREV, and the whole bullshit. I don't know. I've forgotten the fifth one. I think I'm going to remember in the course of the space. But it was listed under forged certificate. Because when I read this Perjury today, I had to reach out to MC. I said, bro. That Perjury thing you will talk about all the time. Do you mean what I'm just seeing now? Did we file this case? He said, yes, now. It was filed. That's why I've been screaming since. That we should put this drug dealing seven at the crisis. Yes, drug dealing is bad, but have you checked the perjury of Tinubu? Have you guys opened your eyes to read and see what this man has done? The crimes this man has committed, the fake certificates. My God, I now have to let me. I'm going to post that. Let me post that this guy's link, because God. I'm saying this one more time. God bless you, David Hundeyi. God bless you. God bless you. Please, guys, just if you can make a tweet and tell David Hundeyi, God bless David Hundeyi. I'm going to post right now on the Jumbotron, on the Jumbotron for all of you while we're having this space. Please, this is one conversation that every one of us, every obedient, should be conversant with. It is one of those prayers that there is no harm. In fact, let us agree. Let us agree that 25% is not needed. In fact, I want to agree that Tinubu did not do drugs. I want to now say, may we agree that Tinubu not do drugs. That is how confident I am reading what I read today. In fact, I don't want to hear another.
Welcome to my side of the argument, Saddam. God bless
my
you.
brother, I've come to your
Welcome.
side. Hey,
welcome, sir.
God have mercy.
And this is where
God
we
have
nail
mercy.
Mahmoud Yakubu. Remember, under the drug case, you see, everybody has been saying Tinubu for under the drug case, there is no prison term. He did drugs before. He's ineligible for the presidency, yes. But under the perjury, he's eligible for 13 to 16 years in prison. And then it indicts Mahmoud Yakubu, because in the document he submitted to INEC as a governor, he submitted a certain school, he submitted primary, submitted secondary, submitted university. But in the document he's using to run now as APC presidential candidate, he didn't submit any primary, he didn't submit any secondary, he only submitted university, and INEC admitted that document. So if there's anything that will even put him in prison, it's actually the perjury. I have been saying this for the longest time. Remember, I did a whole submission on perjury and the attachment jail terms, and how Mahmoud Yakubu has 20 years in prison. I yield. Continue your submission. Thank you. Welcome. Good morning.
My brother, good morning. Good morning. How was your night? NC?
My night went well, brother. Bless.
Oh, my brother, I swear to God, it was just like a veil was taken out of my face today. You know, when you see how, when you look at how the debt this man has on him, it gets so dirty that at the time you start wondering, which debt will you face? Which debt will you could face? I don't know what took me to open Perjury today, bro. Let me read small before I come to PDP and INEC influencers, because if I stay on this Perjury, I swear I can finish. I can spend 2 hours here talking. Nigerians, as I was doing my investigation today, I entered the book of Google, and I now searched Tinubu's perjury cases, and I was taken straight to West African Weekly, David Hundeyi's site, and the headline was, "Has Bola Ahmed Tinubu committed perjury? The evidence says yes." Who exactly is the presidential candidate of Nigeria ruling party? The results of several subpoenas have revealed forged documents, identity theft, false claims, and perjury on his INEC form EC9. And I'm just going to break it down so that I don't take all the time, where I believe SEC will do a perfect job in what I'm about to say. But while I was now going through, reading through, actually, there are two Tinubus. Please pay attention, Nigerians. It is very, very important to understand what we're saying here. We have two Tinubus. One Tinubu went to Chicago State University. Another Tinubu, I'm giving you two individuals. One Tinubu with an identity of Chicago State University. Another Tinubu's disguising as one. In his form EC9 that he submitted to INEC, in his form EC9, Tinubu's date of birth was 1952. And okay, before I even come to the Perjury, before I even come break down, let me make you guys understand something first. Somebody, I don't know who filed this subpoena in America. I think NCC will come in here and say somebody did that and subpoena Chicago State University to bring out all these informations. All this information.
His name is Barrister Enahoro Eba, and the case is actually still in court as at March 2023. He has been on this case for years. So he went as far as getting a law firm in the US that actually pays and subpoenas to get this information. Barrister Enahoro Eba.
Thank you. That man subpoenaed Chicago State University and they brought out the actual documents, the actual informations, the date of birth, his identity that he used to register as an undergraduate student in Chicago State University. I'm not saying the identity the Tinubu used to register, because as it stands now, it is totally variant from the Tinubu that went to INEC. It is totally different. There is no semblance. There is nothing. They brought out his copy of academic records, copy of his undergraduate admission application forms, the copy of the University of Cambridge General Certificate of Education, and copy of Southwest College transcripts. All these documents were subpoenaed, and the original documents are online. My people, online. They are online. It's not as if that it is. Let me post it on the Jumbotron, please, so you guys can be reading it now. Please, it's on the comment section, so you guys can just use your eye and see the hard work David did since November. Since November 22nd, we're sitting on a freaking land gold. Is it gold mine? I'll call it. We're sitting there with nobody. We don't even know. People knew, but for many of us from the church now, from our sample here, they are not up to 50 in this house now that I'm sitting, knows the details of this case. All we know is that Tinubu forged certificates. How did he forge the certificate? How was it found out? Is it fake news again? Or is it that it has been subpoenaed from Chicago itself? So everything we're saying here are facts. Open facts. So now I understand why AC said that man might never even come back to Nigeria again, safe. That he might never come back to Nigeria again, and he could, from there he go run. He go run, and he'll come back. It's possible. It is freaking possible, because in Chicago, let me just do a little breakdown, because I don't know whether I'm going to hammer this point how else to do it. Let me give you guys a little breakdown. In Tinubu's from ECA, the one submitted to INEC, and the fucking thing is that even INEC got this form and hid it. These forms are meant to be made public to Nigerians. INEC hid it. A man, this Enahoro man, had to take INEC to court to release these forms out for us to see. It's just like, that's how we knew that this guy got parallel F9. What's his name? Jando. How you take those Jando get F9? Parallel. It is because all these are public documents. It shouldn't be hidden. That's how you knew Peter Obi's certificate. Everything are open. The schools you went to, these are not hidden. But for Tinubu's case, INEC hid it. They didn't want anybody to know until this Enahoro man subpoenaed INEC, took INEC to court, and INEC now released it. And it's now shown that it is totally different from what we have from Chicago, from what he had gotten from Chicago, that is online. Please, the article is up on the Jumbotron. Every one of you on the platform, please do not be lazy Nigerians. Open your eyes, read, and see who this fucking criminal. I was asking myself, who is Tinubu? Who is Tinubu? Because the Tinubu of Chicago State University was born in 1954. Tinubu in INEC was born in 1952. The Tinubu of Chicago State University said he's a black American. That she's a black American. That she's a citizen. Please listen to my words. The Tinubu of Chicago State University said she is a black American.
Meanwhile, to be president of Nigeria, you cannot have dual citizenship or something,
And
or
to
you
be
have to
president of
announce
Nigeria,
it,
you cannot have dual
or
citizenship.
you have to announce it early.
Or you have to announce it early. But the Tinubu of INEC said he has never, that since they born him, said that only one citizenship he gets. The Tinubu of CSU, that's Chicago State University, said she graduated from Government College, Lagos in 1970. The Tinubu of INEC no say anything. He say no. Say he does not have record of his school. That is when you now remember that tape of Festus Keyamo saying, great men pass GCE from home. Now, you know, remember how we played that tape?
On public record, Saddam, the Tinubu of INEC, as at when he was governor, you need to also remember there's another
I'm
set
talking
of
of presidency.
documents
What
of
is
this
talking
current
presidency?
one. Now, when he was governor, he claimed to have gone to Government College Ibadan between the years 1965 and 1968, of which there is no
Thank you.
record. And the students wanted to throw a party to acknowledge him as one of the big popular politicians from that set. And they asked him, what set do you belong to? Let's find your setmate and throw you a party. Till today, he has never replied them. I yield.
Thank you, my brother. Then finally, before I move on, no, one more. So guys, please remember, I've listed fake age, fake citizenship, fake college, 3.
Fake
Tinubu
Deloitte.
of INEC.
Fake Deloitte.
No, I'm going there, I'm going there. Tinubu of INEC say he is a man. Tinubu of Chicago State University registered as a female. Fake identity, 4. So, except he has transgender. That's why they say the Bola A, Tinubu, the A in Chicago probably stood for Abigail or Annabelle or something else, because A, they're a female, no be male. Then finally, Tinubu, they subpoenaed Deloitte, because you hear them all through campaign shouting, he's a first class accountant, he's a first class this, he's a first class that. He worked at Deloitte. Deloitte was subpoenaed also, and Deloitte said, dear Mr. Kowals, we have received a subpoena dated September 16th, 2022, seeking employment record for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, social security number, dash, date of birth, dash. Please be advised that we have no records of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in our systems, and as such, have no employment records for them. Bola Ahmed Tinubu never worked in Deloitte, but Bola Ahmed Tinubu told INEC he worked in Deloitte. Nigerians, it is very, very, very important, because at the end of everything, I now have to go and search. What is the punishment for someone that lied on that oath? For someone that has perjured the system? And I saw that it is 14 years. Minimum of 14 years. To the point that the way that that's how you do it, that you go life imprisonment. Bola Ahmed Tinubu lied on his whole identity. So when you see on our case, when you see fraud certificate, I just listed to you guys all our lawyers, everything I've listed right now is what our lawyers will be telling the court. So tell me how, in any sane country, let us forgive Bola Tinubu for drugs. He has repented. Let us forgive him. Say Tinubu no push drugs again. Let's say yes. Please, can you explain to me who Bola Ahmed Tinubu is? When all his information, everything about that man is vague and fake. Nothing is real. How can we forgive that? Even if we choose to forgive, the law says it is 14 years. So please, my people, I want you guys to, as you're reading this whole stuff, I feel like I have not done enough justice to this stuff. I feel like if you read it yourself, you're going to open your eye open, my eye open, because I just opened this thing today and I'm like, I'm not even done reading. I just want to summarize. Please, everybody, when you see David Hundeyi, if you see him physically, kneel down and tell him thank you. If you see him online, hail him. God bless that man. God bless that man. And that is what we say about the media we have in Nigeria, because I'm looking at it right now. Somebody breaks such a news. If we had sensible media organizations doing the real work of media, of journalism, there is no how, as this news broke out in November, 22nd of November last year, that it wouldn't have gone viral in Vanguard, in this day, in leadership, across all. But what they can go viral is fake recordings. These guys are in bed with the establishment. And with that, guys, let me leave the Perjury for other people to come and do.
Sorry, not just thank David, though. They should subscribe to his timeline.
My brother, God bless you. Please, yes. Subscribe, be a paid subscriber, in this West African Weekly Substack. Please be a paid subscriber. As far as low as 50 bucks for a year. $7
$7, yeah.
$7 per month. Please, it is very, very, very low. Please support this man. It is I really think we owe him more than that, self. Please, you guys read this and make tweets out of it. In fact, today we're trending Bola Tinubu for prison. And I want us, if you're in Nigeria, please on your VPN to America. Let us trend the America today. Because I see that we don't have to be taking this our case everywhere we go. Today now we'll trend for America. You want VPN, please. So on your VPN, you're tweeting today. Bola Tinubu for prison. We're not still forgetting that Bola Tinubu is a drug dealer. Let's still be trending. But for today now, let us keep it trending. Bola Tinubu for prison. Bola Tinubu is a drug dealer. Hey, Omo, I can create 1 million hashtags for this fucking criminal. Who the fuck is this man?
Sadamik, I give you one.
Bro, give me one, please. Give me one.
Bola Tinubu is transgender.
Hey!
I beg you, leave those people alone.
No, please, I beg.
Another.
We know where we dey go. We know where
Don't
we
carry
go.
us go where we don't know.
We don't carry us go where we don't want to go. We don't go there.
So then let me come in here.
We don't go there.
Let me come in here.
Ensis, please come.
All right,
Please
fantastic.
come. Please.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Church of Vawulence, the what I would call the Sabbath edition. Now, today, if Saddam did not shout in my ear in wonderment, if I don't shout maybe at least 15 minutes of hey, why? Because I think my problem and the problem the David Hundeys of the world have is that people are built to not understand what we are saying when we say it. One of my biggest pains in violence space is Saddam's 2 earlier handles that have disappeared. Because earlier in this movement, I gave so many statistics, so many numbers, way before many of these exposés. Way before many of them. But that time, a lot of people hadn't come on violence space. We were about 300, 500 then. But it doesn't throw away the amount of information. Every day I come on this space and I ask you people, this man is not a Nigerian. I have cracked jokes about it. I have told you people that this man's name might be Bonaventure. I have told you people he's from Togo. I've called you as Nigerians. And I've said, look at Bola Ahmed Tinubu's face. Look at the level of his ugliness. Is that even regular Nigerian ugliness? I've asked so many questions. People look at me, they freeze. But we know how different African tribes look. Two, I asked a question. There is a level of poverty you will come from when you become a senator, two-time governor, multi-billionaire in dollars, state capturer, leader of a political party. You will go back and look for your parents. I told Saddam, my father is 80. I know my father's name and my father's mother's name. I know my grandmother's family side and my grandfather's side. I know where my grandfather is buried. I know where my great-grandfather is buried. All of you on this platform know where your grandmother, your grandfather, your great-grandfather is buried. But Bola Ahmed Tinubu's history, his life, starts at 24 years old when somehow he was adopted by Abibatu Mogaji or Tinubu of Lagos. He has no public records. There was one day 2 days ago, I saw one gaslighting thread trying to link him to Borno, trying to link him, he's from the north. I said, haven't you seen the average Kanuri? Haven't you seen the average middle belter? Does he look like them in their features? Haven't you seen his skin tone? Is it Nigerian? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Sometimes I ask again, the Nigerian laws state this. Yusuf Dati knows what he was saying. If you put this man in May 29th, take democracy, shred it, take the constitution, burn it, and let's just know we don't have a country. Because a lot of people, I keep telling you guys, a lot of you think where Bola Ahmed Tinubu committed crime is in that drug he carried. Legally, let me break it down. He committed a crime in Chicago in 1993. He paid for that crime in financial restitution to the tune of $460,000. He has been a legal citizen ever since. The highest that crime will prove in a court of law is that Bola Tinubu might not be eligible if we agree for a rerun. That is one. But two, look at an interesting discussion that happened this week, 2 days ago, where the people, his legal team were saying the crime was not committed in Nigeria, so it should not stand against him in Nigeria. Now, in Nigerian banter fashion, we bantered about it. People said, I schooled in the UK, so obviously I'm illiterate in Nigeria. Otumba cracked a joke, I'm married in the US, so maybe me and my wife were single in Nigeria. But people did not understand that it linked itself to my Thursday submission when I was talking to the judges of the Supreme Court, that anything you legalize in the Bola Ahmed Tinubu case becomes enshrined in the Nigerian law and in the Nigerian constitution and will be quoted forever. So yes, Woodbury can actually come up in the future and say, I was not the one indicted, it was my wristwatches. It was the cars that were taken from me. I paid restitution. I did my time. It should not be held against me. But our constitution says that out of 200 million Nigerians, we are not about to reward those of you who committed crime, especially as adults. In the United States, if you're convicted for a crime, for the rest of your life, or till that thing is struck off your record, you're not allowed to vote. The US has agreed that, don't worry, we're okay with the people that didn't commit crime. They can be picking voters. It's a huge legislative issue, but it is what it is. So when you tell me you're about to legalize these things, I laugh. There is this question I keep drumming here, I say it as joke, but nobody keeps understanding my pain. There is the question of the nationality of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He must prove to us how he's a Nigerian. I don't think anybody is even on that angle, is not even in our petitions, but it will have to come out. How are you a Nigerian, sir? Who is your grandfather? Who is your grandfather? That is a question that every living, breathing. Look, the good Lord so designed us biologically that it takes two people to bring one person. So there's no human being in this world that two people did not collaborate to bring here. And the problem is that the two people must be one sex here, one sex there, biologically. So you came to this world, Bola Ahmed. You don't have daddy. You don't have mommy. You don't have grandfather from your mother's side. You don't have. Okay, you were born an orphan. There's no story about you. You are born an orphan. You cannot tell us the orphanage. They say you are from Iragwiji. Then there are stories that you are from Bogu in Borno State. What is going on here? Are you sure? Are we even sure this is a Nigerian? Because if you go back into our national records and go and find out when was the first time Bola Ahmed Tinubu was issued a Nigerian passport legally, it is on record that the only time he was issued a Nigerian passport was the fake Nigerian passport, Bola M. Tinubu female, that he used to go to the US. True or false? So prior to that age, he has no proof of being a Nigerian citizen. I keep telling you people that, you guys think this thing is a joke. Some of us have dug, and met brick walls in this man's history. For a 70-year-old man, do you know what 70 is?
Bro, Ace is a 70-year-old man, and you can't come out and say anybody in this
You
world
can't. Okay,
has
you're a 70-year-old
difference.
orphan. And look, let me tell you, do you know that orphans on public record are one of the people that do the most digging into their life, into how they are born, into how they came to this world? Orphans, go and find out. Abandoned children. Just the day you tell them that I'm not from this family is the day they start finding out where they are from. Talk less of a man with this amount of capital. I cracked a joke here one day. I said, one day you will wake up one day and America will prove to you that they have proof that Bola Ahmed Tinubu was a child serial killer who murdered his entire family. What will you do that day? What will you do that day? Because if you are telling me that on record, we don't even have the name of the midwife. Let me remind you guys that amongst our parents' generation, if you are not born in a hospital, if you are born at home to a midwife, as most of they will now say, so and so person was born to the family of so and so. Are be true or false? So how do we have a man that we don't have Bola Ahmed Tinubu born to the family of so and so? It's on public record. He was adopted by the billionaire lady of Lagos as an adult. What did he do all his life? Where is he from? Who are his parents? Who are his grandparents? Because if you have not even started from the kindergarten of the man, and there are already questions, you are now telling me that I should disturb myself about his drug dealing. Why wouldn't the middle of his story and the quarter ending of the story be this, if the beginning is this shady? True or false? Would you be a billionaire who didn't know his parents, who got adopted, and the first time you went to the US was with a fake Nigerian passport to go in as a fake university student? You went through all of that, came back to Nigeria, luckily became a senator, billionaire businessman, and somehow you just never found out where you're from, what local government, what orphanage home, to always go back there and do your birthdays. You're just never bothered till today. Wow. Okay, no wahala. So let's move into this perjury case, because this is where it gets interesting. I remind you people, I've always said it here, that supposing he tells us, I did these drugs and I gave my life to Christ and I'm born again, what will you say as a Nigerian citizen? What will you do? No, I'm just saying, what sends him to jail is the perjury.
We will bring him. Okay, no, we can't send him to jail with that one, but he gets
Yes,
disqualified.
that one causes a disqualification. And this is where I even tell Tinubu fans, supporters, and even APC members that you people are daft. You see, I'm still the person that comes here to remind them that they are mad. to remind them that they are mental. So that before you become a full Nazi member, before you become fully Nazi, let me remind you, as at now that you are still a fascist, that you are mad. Let me remind you of what you are supporting. If you know your father, you know your grandfather, you know your mother, you know your grandmother, you know your grandmother's family, you are mad if you're supporting Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You are crazy. You are crazy. We are call us all the names, but you are mad. You are a mental patient. So let's go into this perjury case because it's very interesting. Let me start here. In the year 2005, I landed in New York City. I was an intern at Def Jam. One of the first biggest issues that happened at the office was the arrest of Lil Kim. I hadn't worked there for a while, and then I heard the word perjury, and then I heard the word snitch. Apparently, Lil Cis and Lil Kim had an issue. They were to go to court and lie. Lil Kim went to court first and lied. Very simple issue. Nothing too big. Everybody was to keep it G. Lil Cis went to court and they warned him about perjury. And he told the truth. He didn't know that Lil Kim had lied, according to him. Or maybe he was just a rat. Maybe he was scared or a snitch, whatever. And then I remember that Lil Kim went to prison. Listen to this sentence. For a year and a day and paid a fine of $50,000. It shook New York. It's like putting Nicki Minaj in prison. 2005. And I always remember that word perjury because I was like, oh, ma. So I don't know, say if you lie for court. So that's swearing. Now, big deal. Oh. So if you submit a fake document in court, it's a big deal. They did not pity Lil Kim in the city of New York. I always remember that I'm always careful about that perjury word. I'm always careful when they tell you, write a statement at the police, submit a document. I remember that perjury, and I've been very careful. Now, in one of the early periods where I loved law and I was starting to study it small, I remember that I wondered, why is it that the Nigerian Constitution is so wicked to people who commit perjury? I never could understand why perjury in Nigeria used to 14 years, 16 years, 13 years, till I understood how much document fraud happened in this country. Prior to Lil Kim being arrested, when democracy started in Nigeria in 1999, a Speaker of the House of Reps, a man that he submitted fake university documents from the University of Toronto. I've forgotten his name now. He was a northerner. And he got kicked out as early as I think it was like 2003. If anybody remembers his name, please remind me. The Speaker of the House of Rep of Nigeria, for perjury alone. He was kicked out. They used to call him Toronto Certificate, the Toronto Certificate man. He faked going to University of Toronto. If you remember his name, you can write it down in the comment box. So I remember that case. I remembered perjury also in this APC administration when they presented a lady called Kemi Adeosun to be Minister of Finance, and his name is Salisu Buhari. God bless you, Lanre Akinshete. God bless you, God bless you, God bless you, God bless you. His name was Salisu Buhari, and he was removed from that position for perjury as early as in the early...
Now, Buhari, brother.
I don't know. In the early 2000s. Saddam, that's a fantastic joke. I will use that at some other time. So I remember that Nigeria has been punishing this perjury thing for a long time. Even under the APC administration, Kemi Adeosun forged her NYSC certificate. Who remembers? This was barely 4 or 5 years ago. When they found out it was forged, Kemi Adeosun was forced to step down as Minister of Finance. Technically speaking, all of Kemi Adeosun's certificates from when she attended school on public record have been correct, but she forged her National Youth Certificates and was forced to step down legally as the Minister of Finance sometime around 2017, between 2016 and 2018. I remember. So you want to tell me Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when he was a governor, submitted the following: schools attended. I attended St. John's Primary School, Aroloya, Lagos. He also said he attended Children's Home School in Ibadan. Tinubu claimed both times that he attended primary and secondary schools. According to him, he attended St. Paul's Children's Home School. This is another tale again, Ibadan, between 1958 and 1964. He also submitted that his secondary school education was at Government College Ibadan between 1965 and 1968. Then, on Wikipedia, what secondary school did Bola Tinubu?
Ensis, please talk about that his secondary school again, please.
Fantastic. Follow me, children of God, and just type this on Google. Schools Tinubu attended. Please understand, I write everything I say down because everything I say is from public record. Schools Tinubu attended. Are you with me? The first story you will see is Sahara Reporters, 27 June 2022. I was admitted into secondary school, but I dropped out due to poverty. Tinubu. First story. Second story, you would see people also ask, which school, which secondary did Tinubu attend? Wikipedia.org. He attended St. John's Primary School, Aroloya, Children's Home School in Ibadan. Tinubu then went to United States in 1975, where he studied first at Richard J. Daley College in Chicago, then at Chicago State University, graduated in 1979 with a Bachelor of Science degree in accounting. You go to the Sahara Reporters article. Did Tinubu attend Government College Ibadan? He claimed both times that he attended primary and secondary school. According to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in his own words, he attended St. Paul's Children's Home School Ibadan between 1958 and 1964, while his secondary education was at Government College Ibadan between 1965 and 1968. Now, when this issue was brought up by Mr. Anthony Enahoro Eba, I said Anthony Enahoro, I'm sorry, the barrister who sued him for this case. As at last year when I gave this submission, if you remember on the first Saddam handle when we started Vawulence Space, I said, please take note that in the form for presidential aspirants, there are 3 columns: primary school, secondary school, and university. When Bola Tinubu was a governor in 1999 to 2008, he submitted that he went to Children's Home School, Aroloya, Government College Ibadan, and Richard Daley College. He signed those 3 places and then went in to become governor. These were the era before the internet, where a lot of things could not be verified. And he did 8 years as governor of Lagos. When things started becoming verifiable, we found out all these informations were a lie. He claimed to have worked at Deloitte. Deloitte came out and said, we have no record of this person ever working here. Now, when Bola Tinubu submitted his form to be the APC presidential candidate, he did not submit any school for primary. He did not submit any school for secondary. Those places are blank in that form till today. The only place he submitted was the Chicago University he attended. Under normal circumstances, INEC should never have allowed that form to stand. INEC has been complicit from day one. Let us agree to this. I repeat, if Mahmoud Yakubu goes to prison, he will not spend anything less than 20 years. There has to be a fall guy for this election, and it must be him. So every other candidate submitted. Now, when he was asked, who remembered? Bola Tinubu said that the schools that were the government college and the rest, that it was Tokunbo Afikuyomi that submitted his form for governor in 1999. So those schools Tokunbo Afikuyomi submitted became his public record, that those are the schools he didn't, that in short, he didn't even go to school till he wrote WAEC. That was the lie this bastard Keyamo was trying to cement. when he was trying to delay and deny and hoodwink facts when he said great men studied from home. Because Tinubu now, in presenting those two documents, becomes liable to 14 years imprisonment. Especially if we take each document as one, then it's 28 years concurrently. Because each one is an individual lie on its own. Also, remember that the students of Government College Ibadan, as at the height of his governorship, wanted to celebrate him. They sent Bola Tinubu a simple question. We were all in Lagos and we witnessed when this happened. We are not dead yet. What sets are you from our great school? We want to gather your set people and appreciate them and raise you up as an icon of the school. Until today, Bola Tinubu has not replied that university. Till today, that secondary school. Till today. So I ask, a man submitted 3 schools when he was a senator in 1993. He came back, submitted 3 schools as a governor in 1999 and ruled Lagos for 8 years. Then somehow, when he was running for president in 2023, he submitted only his university and said he never went to school, and that the person who submitted his form in 1993 and 1999 submitted schools that he believed he went to. When he was asked, what school did you go to? Remember Bola Tinubu's trick. I do not speak on any issues, so that I send my buffoons, my morons, my zombies, my junkies, my cartel to speak on my behalf, so I'm never held culpable. So his spokesperson, presidential spokesperson, then says, great men study from home. And it's on public record. I will look for that tape and play it. When I tell you people that the drug he committed, sometimes if you notice, I don't even bother myself about it because that one is on public record. But I need this one. This one, I don't know how we'll present it to the world, because this is where the madness of this man germinates from. Nigeria is about to vote in a ghost. We don't know if this is an AI. We don't know if this is an alien. We don't know where he fell from. We don't know where he's from. We don't know his family. We don't know his generation. We don't know his lineage. And this is who some people want to impose on us. Forget his drug dealing past. For I'm telling you, this one is where he goes to prison. Quote me, the mandates will be collected back from Bola Ahmed Tinubu and handed to Peter Obi, and nothing will happen. I repeat, the mandates will be collected back from Bola Ahmed Tinubu and handed to Peter Obi. Nothing will happen. There will be no protest. There will be no riots. Heaven will not fall. There will be no earthquake. There will be no violence. Nothing will happen. I repeat, if you're APC, you are PDP. Listen to me and listen well. You have a criminal, a man who has literally... Do you know that there is a law that nobody even thinks about, and I laugh? In the Nigerian law, it states, if you are a member of a secret society, you cannot run for elective office in this country. But all of you are proudly cultists and running around in the corridors of power. Some of you are cultists today, blasting it, showing it off, doing your things. Many of you are cultists in the corridors of power. But it says in the Nigerian constitution that you cannot be president, governor, senator, house of rep in an elective office if you belong to a secret society. And I just laugh. Many of you are making mistakes today. Some of you will tell me, this movement, I go run for president, governor tomorrow. And I just look at some of you. And some of your cultism is even in your profile handle. No wahala, we are obedient in it together. Go and read the Nigerian constitution, so you know that many of you are disqualified even in this obedient movement for public office. Many.
Make I buy.
I just explained that for you now. The primary school, is that what you're saying? He did not reveal it. I'm not saying that he did not reveal it, but I'm saying that in those days, you don't have to go. You don't have to.
God bless you.
Secondary school? Let the secondary school. That's it, you know. Yeah. They pass it from home. They pass it from home. Yes, men do.
Back to you.
And he said,
He's not an Olori Buruku. He is setting the precedence to avoid 14 years in prison for his oga. Don't you people understand?
It's the same playbook.
It's not the same playbook, Zos. This time he's going to prison. It's not, Zos. Look at these men as people who are literally fighting for their lives. A 99-page petition is going to collapse an entire... Do you know how many... They tell you how many years they've been working on this thing. A 99-page petition is going to collapse the APC at the point of victory. Remember, Buhari was not their candidate. He was a compromise they made to get into power. This is them about to really start. I tell you people, they will not be embezzling the amount of money they're embezzling if they know that Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC is going to continue in power from May 29th. Trust me. We just read about more than 5 trillion naira to be spent in 72 hours. $800 million. Meanwhile, the consultancy to share the money is $56 million out of 800 million. Didn't you read that?
100.
Financing fees 50 something million. So please, I beg of you. Please, I beg of you. You have gone beyond, as an obedient, you have passed the level of reading the topic of an article and not going into the article to read the fine print. The media is complacent. These people have sold out. I hate to say this, but this is how, look at it, Nigerians. This is how they got you people to get up and go and massacre 4 million Igbos. This is how they did it. There were no spaces. There were no social media. Everybody just read newspapers. And all it took was 4 newspapers to be owned by bigots. 1 Sahara Reporters, 1 People's Gazette, just to paint an Igbo agenda. And Nigeria got up and murdered the one tribe that gets up from their home and goes to other people's house and builds. They almost did it again this election. This is how they got up and subdued the entire middle belt. And the middle belt has gotten up, and you can see they are butchering them. You can see the agendas. You can see how they use the forefront media. Imagine a generation that grew up loving Shehu Akimbaloye. He would probably have been their serial stober. There was no other person to listen to. And then Shehu will start telling you that no, these obedience are the ones that are the problem. They are bullies, they are this, they are that. Is it not because we have this kind of platform that we can come and plead our case and we can remind Nigerians that Oshibanjo called for a parallel government barely 7 years ago? Would you have been able to do that? Can you go to channels and go and play Oshibanjo's statement that he made on channels for them today so that Nigerians will know that obedience have not done as much as these people? This is how they led our parents down a genocide. This is how they led people to kill their fellow people in Lagos barely a month ago. And I must forever drum this in. I repeat, Nigeria does not need an intelligent, sensible, upright media doing their job if we have intelligent, sensible citizens that will call them out for their fuckery. Everybody wants to be spoon-fed in this country. Every station must have a Rufai. Every station must have an Abati. Every station must be a Rice so that you people will get sense. And then 2 days to election, they got up, called the architect that wanted to rebuild Lagos, Chinedu, Igbo, this one. And you people went and voted for your suffering to continue. And the week you voted your suffering to continue, trailer jam, bus jam, train for Lagos. Something will never happen before. Bus just jam train for Lagos. Building collapse for Banana Island 2 times for Ikoyi. Something will never happen. When the righteous are in power, the people will rejoice. When you put demoniacs in power, there'll be bloodshed, anarchy, and chaos. When Nigerians are ready to quit these fucking games and be realistic about their country, we will. But I repeat, with all the crimes Bola Ahmed Tinubu has committed, with the vagueness of his character, and with the rubbish he has submitted legally in the Nigerian court of law, he's facing perjury, and he will return the mandate. And dear APC, this is not David Hundeyin that wrote it. It is there on public record. Nothing will happen. As I speak to you, the man has jackpad and he is not coming back. All of you thinking there is some miraculous bounce back is coming to do May 29. Baba, he's not daft. The Supreme Court judge went, told him, we've read the petition. He had to hear it from the horse's mouth, and he has. He's not coming back again. Quote me. He will give you 3-second video, one selfie. But trust me, a man that's 14 years perjury on his neck, he's not playing any games with you people. He's not coming back. He's not collecting anything. Democracy dies the day you put this man in power. Yusuf, that is right. Highest, there will be a rerun. And yes, there will be a possible interim government, because even the evil Buhari has done is enough. May 29 himself, he has to calm down. So they know what they are saying. Always remember, APC are one of those stupid people that anything they accuse you of is what they are most guilty of. It is what it is. Nothing, I repeat, will happen. He will drop that mandate and Peter Obi will go and win it easily. And then Mahmoud Yakubu will go to prison. Cheers, everyone. God bless you all. Thanks for coming. Sorry if my sermon was a bit lengthy. I spoke as the Spirit led. Cheers.
My brother, thank you very much. Thank you. Honestly, you've done a lot of justice to me, because as I was there, I just feel, how would I I'm still shocked. And I'm guilty for not. This man drug dealing case on. It don't even blind my eye. With this one alone, with this one alone, honestly speaking, I was the same thing. Honestly speaking, there is no how on earth. There is no how on earth, except I'm going to become the next president of Nigeria. If Tinubu becomes the president, just cease to be a democracy.
He won't be
Nigeria
sworn in
now
on
a
the
banana
constitution
republic.
because he did not fulfill it.
When they talk, if you like, make it pain you. Go and call DSSSSS. Let them hear this. Because it seems even the DSS, they don't go school. They don't carry person, we go gym. If you go gym, Tinubu's mode of getting power, go and gym and have test and go and write fake result to employ as DSS or army or police. Because for a man that has you cannot trace anything, no certificate, his age fake, gender fake. There is nothing to trace this man.
Background. Now that
No
background that they
background.
use catching people. I asked them, do you
I
know
have
your
a
father and your
Tinubu,
mother?
bro.
Oh yeah, who is Tinubu's father and mother?
I have a Tinubu in my DM. I have a Tinubu, a bona fide Tinubu in my DM. That's why she said, please, you're the people I'm calling when you call Tinubu, you're our family. You're something in our family. They bona fide Tinubus in the DM. They don't know this criminal. He carry money enter the family. Scatter everywhere. Bribe was, and look at how devilish he is. Whatever he touches, he destroys. He has entered a family. He has occupied a family that can trace their ancestry down to the 18th or 15th century. He has collected it and he has destroyed their heritage. So when you talk about Tinubu today, you're talking about him.
The family has put it out on record. He was adopted. The family has put it on record.
Yes.
He was adopted. Finish. Now, big man, now rich man, they no go downgrade and pass that one. But they have said it. You are not born of us. He can never have. It is on record that Abibatu Mogaji, we know her mother now. We know their family lineage. But in his history, he cannot claim that woman and that woman's. Okay, if it's the woman we born him, who is the man we give the woman belly we born him? Do you get where I'm coming from?
True.
Oh yeah, who give the woman belly? We born. We okay. If na Biba to Mogaji, Tinubu born you. Who give the woman belly? We born you. Are we not human beings again? Is it not two people? I just hear a
My
joke.
God.
You know, sometimes I joke, I say his name is Bonaventure from Togo. Because the truth is, he's not Nigerian. When we will go into his nationality and find where he was issued his first Nigerian passport and what was submitted for that passport, you will hear things.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Look, it's a
Honestly, it's
slam
crazy.
dunk. He knows why he has run away from the country. This is not exercise bike and organize. They thought Peter Obi would do what they do within their cartel. Oh, yeah, you beat me. Because, do you understand? Oh, you beat me, you won. Okay, that's fine. Go and do, Sha. I'll come back every 4 years.
Every 4
But they
years, I'll
didn't know
come
that
after 4 years.
Peter's hand is clean. Peter owner, so you're carrying me, go court. I go carry you, go court. Who win? And it's clear.
Hey, no. Oh, more.
For great birthday and not post any
now I
video.
understand.
Now you get it. This is clear perjury. This 16 years is looking at. That's what Festus Keyamo was shouting that time. That he did not go to school. Because if you put the school record, he goes to prison. Clean. There's a high possibility he will never fly back to this country.
Please, guys, while we are trending Tinubu, Bola Tinubu, please, I say this all the time, obedient. It is no longer Tinubu is a criminal or Tinubu is a drug dealer. His full name, please. The Tinubu family are crying that they're getting messages from so many places. Please, let's call his name, the name that he has adopted. His name adopted because it's not his real name. The name he has adopted is Bola Tinubu. So please, your hashtag should be complete. Bola Tinubu for prison. Bola
Hey,
Tinubu
poor family. I get what you're
perjury.
saying now. Okay.
Please, the Tinubu family, I'm telling you, they want to make sure with him. The woman was crying, say, please, that the Tinubu family that are innocent, that apart from few of their uncles and nephews that the man has bought with money, that they'll be seeing all their name trending and spending them. So please, let the name be in full. Bola Tinubu is a drug dealer. Bola Tinubu committed perjury. Bola Tinubu for prison. And while we are doing this, I think the tribunal hearing will start this coming week. So please, guys, it is important that we trend broadcast PEPT live. We're trying to make sure that stuff is also in the front burner. It's a discussion that we should have today. We should have in the course of our discussion. Please, that tribunal should be live. Let us see with which face the lawyer will come and tell us that Tinubu was, well, yes, he was a female in 1960. He was a female, but you know, a miracle. You know, all this our.
It's still
Nigerian.
perjury. It's still perjury.
It's still perjury, bro. It's still perjury.
Don't you get it?
It's still part of. It's perjury. If they line up all the perjury cases one by one, I named 4 here. 4. Identity fake, date of birth fake.
Travel documents fake.
Travel document fake. He said that in the school in Chicago State University, the subpoena documents gotten from Chicago State University state live that the Bola Tinubu there she is a lady and she is a Black American.
Please remember the story that when he was adopted by the Tinubu billionaire, the lady in Lagos, the powerful woman in Lagos, the woman had a daughter who had just written SAT and gotten a visa to study at Richard Daley College in Chicago. The daughter fell ill and died. This was the era before now, so obviously watermarks and all of this. There's a place in Lagos called Oluwole where fake passports are made, and the identity of this man was swapped with that woman's daughter. So they just swapped the face. These are stories on public record. That's how Tinubu got to the US. In the US are female. And then the Black American, the Black, the dual citizenship angle. People are fighting you. I'm asking them, how many things do you want me to overlook? I'm overlooking the drugs. I'm overlooking the this. I'm overlooking the that. I'm overlooking the this. How many things? It gets to a point that the man doesn't even exist. I'm overlooking down to his grandparents. Nothing.
You just have to.
It's madness, Saddam.
Be a criminal. You just have to be a criminal.
It's not for me. You know, you see some people that say he's admit. It's not a gamble I want to take. I'm sorry. It's not a gamble I want to take. I don't care how much he has changed. It is not a gamble any nation should take. This man he goes against the constitutional requirements. JAMB did not give you admission when you didn't pass now. Why are you giving somebody admission that didn't pass? What is going on here? And in giving him that admission, you destroyed the law, so everybody must get a pass. I yield, Saddam, because that is right. You get why that he come on, shout that thing. Then what is democracy then? What are we then doing? At the highest office in the land, we are doing this amount of compromise. Perjury, cool. Drug trafficking, cool. Narcotics trafficking, cool. Forfeiture, cool. No identity, cool. Fake school, cool. Lies, cool. State capture, cool. One person. Then, make him president. Come on now. Is this now? Are we now joking as Nigerians? So what's the use of going destroy all the churches and mosques then? There's no need. What will we tell our children? Our children will Google this man now. Till 2031, they will Google him. And none of it will be made up. It's not that they'll Google him and say it's David Hundeyin that created these stories or it's N6 or it's Saddam. They are on American public records. They will Google him. And then the world will start to Google him too. You will be shocked that, look, America is a wicked country. You will be shocked America has a video of the day this man landed in the US with fake documents as a woman. You'll be shocked America has a video of him in Richard Daley College with all the fake documents. You'll be shocked, but it's the day you people put him there. America is waiting to do expose. Pana. You know, say as Uberfax users create 19 million views on one tweet in 48 hours. No information in the world. And guess what? They did not lie. They did not pick it from David Hundeyin or from Vawulence Space. They went to the United States public record and posted it there. If you are APC, if you want to shout up, shout down, it is on public record. Uberfax didn't even create the facts. He didn't add one. He didn't remove one. DSS can't carry him. Saddam, this thing we're about to do it's so sad that it's coming from the people who fought the military and then they want to put in a civilian dictatorship. It's madness. It cannot be allowed to stand. I know for sure he will never be president of this country. And I know that nothing will happen. I yield. Continue, sir.
Thank you very much.
N6, did they really even fight the military? Saddam, greetings. Did they fight the military really, or they were in bed?
Oh, they were cohorts. I mean, there are pictures of him with Abacha. You don't get that close to such a man if you ever were his enemy. So we know the real. I mean, right now we are seeing the real stories.
There's something you said, N6, that this man, any investigation you do into this Perjury case, it hits a brick wall, and you are very, very correct. All the people that have brought cases against Tinubu based on this Perjury issue, they have hit brick walls. Following David Hundeyin's investigation, Tinubu does not even have a passport. There are no documents in the university records. No documents. Nothing. Even a passport, an international passport, is not even recorded in the school to say who Bola Tinubu is. So nobody even knows where he is. And these Perjury cases have been in existence since his political career started. Now, what is troubling in all of this is that from publications dated, a publication I came across, June 21, 2022, it states that the court okays suit against Tinubu's trial over alleged perjury. Now, the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja on Thursday, November 1, fixed a hearing on a suit seeking to compel the Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Baba, to initiate a perjury case against the presidential candidate. So they had to go to court to seek in a suit to seek an investigation, to compel the Nigerian police to investigate Tinubu. And it didn't even end there. This was in 2022. Now, they have been postponing this case. They have been adjourning this case. adjourned it up until even March this year. Up until a few weeks ago, this case came to the court, and when they went to hear this case in court, they said they verbally told them that the case has been transferred to another judge. So everybody that is trying to investigate this man, you just hit a brick wall at some point, because the magnitude of what they are hiding, they don't want anybody to know what is happening. So they will do all in their power to cover it up. It's the same playbook, N6, as I was trying to say earlier. Afikuyomi is the one that filled the form for him, and he went to court at the time. He went to the court and verbally told them that, oh, it's Afikuyomi that filled this form for me. And what did the court say? The court said they didn't have any jurisdiction. He had immunity, blah, blah, blah. His lawyer then, Femi Falana, defended him hook, line, and sinker. Defended this man in this same suit that we are facing, that we are bringing up today. It was Femi Falana. Several cases that have been brought before the courts, they just end up dying down. But we are very, very pleased, because this his case now. We will finally open it up and everybody will know the truth, because he has touched the tail of a viper. He's not even a lion. For him to touch Okute, he will know that Kaki no be leather. We cannot have a country where nobody knows who the president is. You don't know where he is. Right now, Sudan are facing a coup. If my information is correct, there is a coup in Sudan. Why do you think the military boys have risen up in Sudan? Is it because Sudan is the land that is flowing with milk and honey? Is it because Sudan has the best constitution and everybody is living upright in Sudan? No. It's because of things like this, because they have allowed things like this to fester on. And now look at where they are. We do not want that kind of situation in the country. And that's why we are fighting that constitutional matters should be followed constitutionally. We have somebody that nobody knows where he came from. His court records, his school records are really female. N6 said he was issued a passport in 19 whatever. But on the record, there is no record of that passport for him to say he went to that school. So who are we dealing with? We do not know. Meanwhile, the PDP is silent. Maybe they are in negotiation phase now. Only God knows. They have entered negotiation phase, because that's what they will do. That's what they do. If they can't win it, they will negotiate and probably drop the case eventually. But we will continue to fight until our mandate is restored. Because I personally, I am sick and I'm tired. I am sick and tired of seeing the country deteriorate to this point. The reason why so many people are leaving the country is because they have seen how the country is going and they decided to leave. Many people that you would never expect, you will never expect them to leave this country. Some of them are partners in law firms. A partner in a law firm that I know is doing Uber in the United States of America today. Because in 2018, not 2023, in 2018, this man sent his wife abroad. And a year later, he said he's not wasting his time. He went and sat and wrote IELTS, trying to hustle Canada. Canada did not come through. And he gingerly took himself to US. He was doing Uber at the time. Maybe now things have changed, but if somebody who was earning over 800 to 1 million naira 5, 6, 7 years ago is running abroad, you are here begging for data and begging for giveaway, you are shouting that you want a drug lord, a perjurer to be president. May God have mercy upon you. I yield the mic, Saddam.
Just a good, just thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. Honestly, guys, I don't even know what I should even. I just think we should just stick on the topic and probably we'll talk about PDP silence and because I have a very damning information also on PDP. But right now, if I start that, we might end up speaking. I've been speaking. We up here have been speaking for close to an hour plus right now or 2 hours, and I think people need to react. But another thing, I'll just wrap up with that. You should understand that PDP has been silent for a reason. It is because they too know. What you guys don't understand is that PDP also know that Tinubu will never be president. They know. So what they're doing right now is they're giving this is from their situation room, they're playing the long game of eventually when he's been knocked out, they're trying to make sure that he ends up in a rerun. That when it ends up in the rerun, that they will not be the good guys, that the fellow criminals will not look at them as the good guys, and this obedience,
The final
no.
abobo.
Yes, then they will not come together. That is why you see Atiku has been silent, PDP has been silent, and PDP, Daniel Boalana is not pushing you people obedience, so people will be adding more fire, trying to hide. That's exactly why. But in the course of the space, I will be talking more about the whole PDP. We have people in their in-house situation that are giving us intels, and we know why they have been silent. Why you can see two PDP and a PDP, a very foolish old Roger open space and make APC co-host. APC are doing co-host to attack obedience. There's a reason why. Because they know Tinubu will never be president.
First of all, they know
And
that their petition is trash. It has no weight. The only petition that has weight is the obedience, is the LP petition. Now, in that petition, it's one of two things. We can prove on the Beaver side of our petition that we actually won it by numbers in the 6 states that PO is petitioning that should be checked. And then we could also, at best, that, and then at worst, a rerun, which then removes the APC candidate and APC entirely, which becomes LP versus PDP. That is where I've always warned you people they are going with the final abobo. These parties cross carpet amongst each other. They have no differences in ideology. They are best friends. I repeat, I have always drummed it that in the course of this election, it is only on PDP spaces. APC don't hold spaces and bring PDP there. Remember, but PDP will hold space and have APC as co-host, speaker section. So watch, because that is the last collabo. PDP are the type of people that will collaborate with APC, believing that is how they will outrig or beat us in that rerun. Watch out for the final abobo. It might not come how you think, but you and I know that it will come. Continue, Saddam.
thank you very much, my brother. Thanks. So, guys, that is exactly and finally, you see this fucking criminal, Yakubu Mahmoud. Please, I said this on our last piece, and I gave you guys the story of 2019. Exactly the same script is being played now. They have paid some influencers, some useless influencers that have sold their soul to money. That will now come and be telling you, Beavers work, Beavers this, Beavers that. Beavers without IRF is a total failure. It is exactly the same thing these bastards are saying now. They're telling you compulsory 24%, 25% across 24 states and FCT. You now make 25 in 24 states. Then now want to put out FCT that still does not exist. Beavers without IRF is a complete failure. Nobody should come and tell you, but Beavers work and IRF failed. It is any person you see tweeting that nonsense, know that he has been induced. And do not relent. Attack. Don't give them any room. Call them out for who they are. Those fucking people have sold their lives. There is no sensible person right now that witnessed what happened in February 25th that will come out and praise INEC. INEC, after spending over 350 billion naira, you now come out on social media and tell us that bots, Beavers bots. You must be fucking crazy up in your brains. So please do not allow any of those fucking influencers. Let them have 1 billion followers come and gaslight you. Yakubu Mahmoud have released funds. Let them come and wash his laundry on social media Our job is to make sure that dirty laundry, that dirty image of him remains as dirty as it is, and he ends up in jail. So please, guys, as we're on the platform today, we're trending. Please, and please, when I say this, please, you put sense like the Adam plenty times, because I want you guys to make tweets tonight. I want us to bombard Twitter today. Everybody, Bola Tinubu committed
Yes, so
perjury.
Bola Tinubu committed perjury. Please let the
Bola
world help
Tinubu
us research it.
committed perjury. Bola Tinubu is a drug dealer. Yakubu Mahmoud for prison. Bola Tinubu for prison. Please, these 4 trends. And also, or if you're in Nigeria, on your VPN to USA. Today, we want to trend these things, these topics in USA. Everybody on the platform, please, if you have VPN, download VPN, please. We want this because we want it to go to USA. Let them see the trend in USA. Because all they're doing is if we talk, they'll copy. We told people to write message during the Times Magazine. We say, send message to Times Magazine, tell them how this is. APC went to go and write message. That Times, thank you. Times are complaining that the kind of English that they are seeing, the message that they started getting from yesterday, the kind of English, the person reading it saying he needs interpreter. Please, that Nigerian need to interpret the English, the people that are writing this second verse of letters that are receiving. APC have destroyed English. They send their people to go write letter and be thinking Times. They go write letter. They won't carry English.
Set our
So
kudus.
please, Kudu say, I want to congratulate you. Hey, Times say, waiting. Who is this? Who is this? So please, my people, these people are not creative. All they can do is to copy nonsense. So today we're trending in America. Put on your VPN. Make tweets for us with Bola Tinubu committed perjury. The hashtag is up on the Jumbotron. So please, if it is difficult for you to get what we're saying, just copy the hashtag on the Jumbotron and put it up there. Let us get these guys trending. Thank you very much. And just please, if you can do the honors by bringing us by coordinating the space, that would be very, 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 very good for us. Thank you very much, my brother. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, my brother Saddam, Ed6, Otumba Jimmy, Jobedient, Grandmaster, well-meaning, almost strong men. God bless you, Vawulencers, everyone on the space, all the listeners that are streaming from our YouTube channel, the listeners on our radio station, God bless you. And to every well-meaning Nigerian listening to my voice, I want to say we have a good fight ahead of us, and we are winning this battle. So I welcome you to the Vawulence space, the number one Twitter space, the number one Twitter political space in Nigeria today. In the words of Emir Saddam, I want to say welcome to the Vawulence space, and we're going to start taking speakers. You pardon me, I would definitely select the woman first. All the guys that came in early, nobody should come and cry on my DM. Please and please and please. My woman born me. So I would take Cindy, and then we'll take Grandmaster. Sydney, the space is yours. 5 minutes, please, Sydney. Cindy, are you here? All right, Grandmaster, please come in.
All right, thank you so much. Good afternoon or good evening, Saddam, to my brother Zos. Good evening to N6. Thank you guys so much. For that monologue. I needed to hear that. Very informative.
Good evening.
Thanks
Sorry,
so much.
I'm here.
Okay, Cindy is back. Sorry, it's okay. Go ahead, Cindy.
Cindy, the bride don't go heaven. No.
Cindy,
I
we
will go
can't hear
after
you
him.
yet.
Let him finish.
All right, go on, Cindy.
She said she'll go after him. Let him finish. So continue, sir.
All right, Grandmaster, please go on.
All right, thank you so much. All right, before I start, it's like a clockwork. For some reason, this topic came up today because, funny enough, I like to, ask the people on this space, please, sometimes, just take a little peep into some of the obedient spaces that I hold before, major spaces like this one. Because trust me, a lot of the time, it's not just people just there ranting. You will learn a lot. We just came off a space hosted by one of our, greatest obedient goats and comrade, and Amir. This space was, basically speaking about Bola Tinubu, and the title of that space was "Who is Bola Tinubu?" Goat meticulously went through the entire drug case of Bola Tinubu. I mean, he went into so much detail that, some of the information that he threw out there today, a lot of you have probably never even heard about it. In fact, after what I heard today on that space, I was asking myself, how come all this while, we were even pushing out our talking point without even understanding, the nitty-gritty of that case. In fact, that case is even deeper than, we actually believe. And I'll get to that particular point later in my submission. So yeah, Saddam, I wanted to ask you a question, please, if you wouldn't mind. I know in your monologue you said something about, you mentioned two date of birth for Bola Tinubu. Please, I'd like to ask you, is it possible that you tell me those two date of birth again, please? I'm trying to cross-check something, if you wouldn't mind.
From Chicago State University, he was born in 1954, and on his date of birth and the INEC from EC9, he was born in 1952.
Thank you very much. I would like to let everybody know that there is actually a third date of birth, and this is not something I am making up. It is it's a public record. Basically, there is a company that was fronted by Bola Tinubu in the UK with a certain Mr. Kayode, right? That company is on public record right now in the UK. I will post it on the Jumbotron when I finish my submission. Basically, on that, the details of the company, the way you have the CAC Nigeria, it was Tinubu was listed. Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu was listed as the CEO of the company, and the age there is 1950. I joke you not. That is the age that is on that particular, page, and this is coming directly from the UK. You understand? So basically, it's
1950.
Yes, I will post it on the Jumbotron.
So we have 1950, we have 1952, we have 1954. So in his mind, if he's smoking, he will finish. You know, so now 1950 something. Well, maybe just like give maybe 50. Put 52 here. He's smoking boy again. Put 53 there.
No, not two. Say they do the age like Baba Ijebu. Na 52. So 1952, 1962, 1972, 90. But they go 1982 because that one they go whole in blockers. So now does that two? 1942,
See
1932.
drugs. Say no to
The
drugs.
number
Say
you
no
know
to drugs.
they do Baba Ijebu too direct.
All right, thank you so much.
But give it to him. He starts with even
With the
numbers.
50s, yes, and also he's talking the 50s,
54. Yeah, it's not 51, it's not 52.
He's talking
just
the
50,
50s.
52, 54. Okay.
Okay, that's interesting. So you see, the truth of the matter is that we don't even know the magnitude of what we are dealing with today. I don't think we realize the magnitude of what Nigerians are dealing with right now. Like I said on that space, you see, the truth cannot be ambiguous. The truth stays the same, regardless of when it is called upon. Be it in, let's say, in 10 years, in 5 years, it will always be the truth. That is why people are, thank you very much, Joe Biden, for posting that. That is why it's always said that people should please stick to the truth, because to defend a lie is always very difficult. And from the number of different stories, different versions of stories of this man we have come to find out, so far, it's safe to say that Tinubu is not the person Nigerians believe it is. Now, let's take a look at Chicago State University. We all understand what happened there. It was a female, and they usurped this person's identity and then claimed he was the person. But then, under what circumstance would Bola Tinubu tell Nigerians that he is not able to go back and retrieve his certificate from that school? I mean, I don't understand, because as I'm speaking to you, before my father died, my father was still congregating with members of the CKC Onitsha that he attended up to the point that he died. And after he died, those people still came to his wake keep. So basically, it is not difficult for you to keep tab of those you attended the same school with. And if you tell me that it's about record keeping, I will tell you that the United States keeps record even up to as far back as the 18th century and the 17th century. Like I told a lot of people, you see, I went
Biden is
to
older
the.
than Tinubu. There's a record of the hospital he was born in. It's on Google.
Thank you so
Thank
very
you.
much, Caesar. Yeah, that's the simple truth. I went once to the. See, a lot of you will know this particular museum. Matter of fact, I'll say if you have the opportunity to go there and you will shed tears, when you see what these people went through. That is why I would never antagonize African Americans ever in my life. But you see, when I went to that museum, I was able to see, like I told the people, I saw the cloth that Emmett Till wore on the day he was killed. It was there, intact. Nothing happened to it. I saw the Declaration for the Emancipation of Slaves that was written in the 18th century, right, by Abe. Basically, the original copy was there. So why do I say this? It is not difficult to keep records. You see, these Western countries are very good with keeping records. So if Tinubu comes out today to tell Nigerians that he's not able to get his, copy, let's say, copy of his certificate from this university, then you understand that this story is taking us where we don't even know. You see, that's the simple truth. Now, let's talk about the government college Ibadan. I mean, a lot of you remember the story of Government College Ibadan, where I think there was an investigation that was started to identify if this man actually went to that school. I can't remember the name of the man exactly, but I think his last name was Balogun, if I'm not mistaken. And then this man, for some reason, was unable to find the principal that was, leading the school during the time that this man claimed he attended that school. The principal went AWOL for so many, I think, months. He was not able to be found. Later, Lam Adesina, asked that every single file and document regarding that particular point in time that Tinubu claimed he was a student in that school be brought to the government house. It was held under lock and key, and up to today, none of us knows what happened there. So there is a deliberate attempt by people, you understand, to ensure that we do not find out who this man is. That is just the simple truth. Now, based on the document that we went through today, I want to remind you guys one other thing. That I think N6 was speaking about perjury, and I know you touched it, N6, but the fact that Bola Tinubu has told Nigerians that he worked at Deloitte, and then Deloitte has come out outrightly to deny that he never worked in their company. That is perjury because, if I'm not mistaken, this was one of the things he has been spouting since the 90s, that he was active with Deloitte as an employee. That is perjury. Include that, please. The fact that he has told Nigerians that he went to Chicago State University, and today Chicago State University has denied that they have no record of anybody with such a name in their school. That is perjury. So beyond the certificate perjury, he has to also answer for all this. Now, let me just say this. A lot of us do not, like I said, the nitty-gritty of the drug case of Tinubu was what we went through today. And honestly speaking, I learned a lot. Thank you so much, my brother Goats, for that meticulous, investigation you did into that. You see, we came to find out that Bola Tinubu, in contrary to what the APC members have been spouting, that it was a case between Bola Tinubu and IRS. It wasn't actually a case between Bola Tinubu and IRS. What happened was that the case was started by the FBI, and then the DEA was in tow, right? So the reason why IRS was even included in the case in the first place is that, oh, by the way, we established in that on that space that Bola Tinubu was actually a snitch known as Mr. A. I kid you not. We are going to show you the document. He was a snitch that was snitching against Muiza Konde and the other guy, called Mr. A.
That's
So
the
he
only way he could have been let off like that. He would have been a huge rat. Continue, brother. Thank you.
That's exactly the simple truth. Yes. So basically, he was a snitch. I think after he was, snared, he became a snitch for the FBI and was, dishing out and singing for the FBI. So basically, we found out that the only reason why the IRS was ever even involved in the case was because after the forfeiture was established, the forfeiture was supposed to be, passed to the Federal Reserve Bank, which is more like the CBN of the US. But the truth of the matter is that individuals cannot forward money to the Federal Reserve Bank, right? So basically, the money has to go through another, government agency, and the IRS was used as a means to receive the money and transfer the money to the Federal Reserve Bank. So that was
Don't
the
forget,
only place
Agent
where.
Moss hated him personally and had a vendetta against him. So even after he was used, Agent Moss still ensured that he would stain his record for life and made sure he paid something out of it. That agent filed 18,600 petitions. It's not something that you overlook. Continue, brother.
Thank you so much, N6. That is just the simple truth. So when you come up on places where you hear them spouting that, oh, it was just a tax forfeiture, it was a forfeiture for not paying tax. That is not true. IRS was simply used to collect the money and move it to the Federal Reserve Bank. FBI and the DEA were the ones investigating. I will provide the documents when I finish. So basically, these are open documents out there in the US. Finally, I want to say this. How many of you, I'm not trying to say anything, I'm not trying to assume or, say anything, but how many of you knew that also that Remi Tinubu was also operating accounts in the US at the same time Tinubu was operating drug new
Yeah.
accounts? Yeah, she was actually actively operating accounts. So basically, this was more like a family business. They were basically used as fronts to move cash, heavy loads of cash for these drug people. And now finally, it was established from the document we read that the drugs, the heroin that Bola Tinubu was actually selling, they were not actually selling. They were the distros, they were the distributors, basically, because there was a place in the document where the FBI, investigating FBI agent, came and asked to be given an ounce of heroin, and then they gave him the price of 7,000 USD. Now, if you understand what an ounce of heroin means, it's not something that street peddlers simply carry around. It is something that you need to go to the what do you call it, the what do you call the stash house, or what they call it in America again, to get. So basically, they
To the
were the
plug.
main. Not even the plot. There's a certain name they use in the US where they keep
Stash
those
house.
things.
Stash house.
Not
Trap
stash house.
house, trap
Eh?
house.
Trap
A
house. Thank
bando.
you very much. Bando. Yes, yes, yes. They were basically running the bando. So basically, they were the distros, the ones that were distributing these drugs. And now let me blow you guys' mind. Do you know based on what we discussed today that the drug that he was selling, the heroin, was not actually coming from Mexico or South America? Guess where the drug was coming from? Based on the document, the drug was coming from Lagos. So basically, it was an active operation taking place between Lagos and the US. So basically, at any point in time, there were also members of this drug cartel in Lagos in the 90s and the 80s. I'm talking about the 80s right now. You all should understand I'm not speaking about today's Lagos. This is in the 80s. These guys were actively running a drug ring that
My
were
brother, now
shipping.
imagine what they're doing now.
With
It's
state
Hey!
crazy.
power, Saddam. I say you go to club in Lagos, they go ask you say Molly, crack, loud, cocaine. You go buy Molly, crack, loud, cocaine. In traffic, like on the road in Lagos now. That's where we are.
Yes, my brother, that's just the simple truth. The cocaine was the heroin was coming from Lagos. The shipment was coming from Lagos. So, is it a wonder that they had to fight like a wounded lion in this governorship election to maintain control of Lagos? There's a reason behind that. Go and investigate. And finally, let me just close with this. You see, I'm not surprised that today we cannot even identify the person we call a president-elect in this country. We don't even know his history. We don't know where he comes from. But if you take a look at what happened in Nigeria in the 70s, in the 80s, see, before, I think between the time we had independence and up to the 80s, Nigeria actually enjoyed a visa-free regime, right? So basically, a lot of people were able to travel to other countries with no visa, and then they would get the visa on arrival. I can attest to this because my dad and my mom traveled multiple times those days in the UK, without visa. But then, at a point in time, as corruption increased, most of these countries started cutting off this regime for Nigeria, and then the identity theft era came. So, like I said previously, Oluwole is a famous street. It's not just famous for anything. It is a well-known street in Lagos. Basically, a lot of people who traveled in the early 80s, mid 80s, late 80s, early 90s, basically left this country with fake documents after the visa-free regime was ended. A lot of them, people who are claiming they are second generation, third generation British Americans today, left this country with falsified documents. Basically, people were stealing other people's identity. I don't know a lot of you, if a lot of you can remember that back in the 90s, people would travel with a passport and send the passport back to Nigeria, and somebody else will use the same passport to travel to the same
I
place.
know a set of twins that left this country like that. One got the visa, traveled, sent the passport back. I don't know how they did it. The other one went. I know a set of twins that did that in the 90s.
They DHL. They post it to themselves.
Thank you very much. You don't even need to go far. I have about 3 cousins that traveled to the US using the same exact passport. All they did is that they just altered the name a bit. So it is not the wonder that the man Tinubu was able to hide his track by using multiple identities. You understand? Multiple age, multiple, names. So yeah, Nigerians, we are in for it. But there's one thing that is giving me hope. It is what N6 said. This perjury case, there's no way he's dodging that case. The truth of the matter is that he has run for so many years, and this is the time for retribution has come. Basically, he needs to answer for this because there's no way we are going to have a president who we don't know his identity. There's no way we are going to have a president who has submitted multiple documents to the same agency multiple times. It's not going to happen. And if there's one good thing that has happened to this country, Nigerians, please, I beg you, please hold Peter Obi there because that man is about to destroy everything you know about this country and rebuild it from scratch. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much, Grandmaster. Cindy Gold, can you come in, please? 5 minutes. All right, let's move on quickly to well-meaning Nigerian.
Yeah. Good evening, Emir Saddam. Good evening, Zos. Good evening, NCs. It's but you are forgiven. You are forgiven because you see that your analysis on PDP, and I think people should get this. PDP is playing a mind game in all this. PDP wants to sit on the sideline. You know when it be like say 2 people they fight, you say okay, as the 3 of them they fight, but one person will say sharp, go stay one side. They look, say okay, maybe they don't beat each other before it go can't take advantage. So let's be well. PDP is literally a snake, to be honest. So and Saddam, you were right. You were so right. But when you were saying that, I was just clapping. Like you were so right about that analogy. That's PDP. PDP is they know what they are doing. It's a very calculated step. Anyway, you see this David Uday's article. Do you know why? Like when you were at the beginning of the space and when you were saying it, I was pained, but in my mind I was like, I mean, it's better late than never. Like you said, this article was released on 17th of November. That was on a Thursday. I think that was when we used to have Vawulence Thursday space in the morning. David released this article at night, like somewhere around midnight. I remember, I think even Pearls is here now. Then a couple of people, there was a space on it. And, I went through it. So in the morning of that Vawulence space, if some of us can still remember, that's old time Vawulence, also old time men, OGs. If you can remember on that day, I'm someone that keeps memory by timeline. So I remember one person actually brought it up first on the space was actually Darren, and I think Darren is here. Then I remember we came up. That was the day we talked about just go to Google and type Chicago State University fake certificate. You will see a Pinterest link. In fact, it's the first thing that will come out. And you see the exact certificate that Bola Tinubu submitted. For me, it was painful because I just feel like, like I usually say, even if you want to be criminal, shall just be smart. So for me, it's annoying where APC that is not smart, as in literally very dull, tries to even still be doing crime, tries to be doing terrorism when they are not smart. So for me, just like you are playing on people's intelligence. Even if you want to edit certificates, don't go to Pinterest and just something very easy to get. And I'm telling you, just try it now. Go and type Chicago State Fake University Certificate. You will see it on Google. I'm not even telling you. I'm not even joking with you. So, I mean, when it came out back then, we emphasized that. Then I remember also the space after, the first space after Peter Obi's, after our petitions came out, you know, so why Saddam was on the, so I'm glad now that Saddam has took leg on one side. Saddam's two leg, one leg is now on a drug case, the other leg is on perjury. Because I remember Siso said that is his own side of the case. People don't understand how deep this is. How deep this is. And I will also blame myself because I think I was more focused when I read that article then. I think the only thing that really caught my eyes was that is female, formerly female, now male thing. Because I still couldn't understand that particular place. So that's why if you notice, even when David was here the other day, when he was talking about the fact that he has up to like 6, 7, 8 dossiers, but he couldn't release them, or he can't release them because of the kind of Nigerian audience. Because truth be told, this one, even as straightforward as this one, is not so many people picked interest. A lot of us still focused on the drug case. But this for me is a nail literally in the coffin. See, I really don't know how. I mean, if to say now in the talk, say in go Umudike University now, say, and for say maybe you go bribe the VC, they go change the certificate sharp. But this is Chicago State University. It's not this is not Nigeria. So I don't know how.
Please, I need you to understand. A state governor in Nigeria, Governor Lam Adesina, to hide the fact that Tinubu did not go to Government College Ibadan, went to the school and seized the records of all the graduated students from that school, took it to the government house, and that school has not received those records till today. A huge conspiracy has been going on since 1993 to cover up this man's academic qualifications, a conspiracy probably even bigger than the drug conspiracy. But somehow people just seem to forget this. Continue, sir.
Yeah, so thanks. So I really want to beg us now. That's why I was so happy, to be honest. I was so happy when I saw Saddam brought this out now, and he even emphasized it the way he's emphasizing it. So I really want to beg us that you see the energy that we are putting, and so it's not as if we are stopping drug cases, because once a drug lord, always a drug lord. I want us to also, see, obedience. We have things to do. Recently, I was talking to someone like, the truth is that APC knows all this. To be honest, APC knows that. APC strategy, to be honest, if you read their response to petition, their strategy is really not to make a case. Their strategy is really to either distract, of course, first of all, distract obedience with a lot of things that they can do. That's why if you noticed, there's been, I don't know if a lot, after the showing cap tape, you discover that there's been a couple of tapes. I was engaging one of our G's in the movement yesterday on, some of the things that I feel like APC was trying to do with the elderly people in our society. After the showing cap tape, you notice they tried playing, some people did not notice, they tried playing the Issa Sage tape. Issa Sage went to channels, I was talking a lot of things. I was so happy that Obedient, probably because people don't really know Issa Sage, people just know showing cap is more popular. Obedient didn't even bother. Then of course, if you see, you might see some people online every now and then, not even online, on Channels TV, Sahara Reporters, People's Gazette. You see these 3 channels, I am telling you, these 3 set of organizations, I don't know what they are. They are part of the big propaganda. All this one, APC e-bats on Twitter, all those ones are joking, The real propaganda people, those are the people. And when they do it, and I want to beg us, whenever we see headlines, when they do it, you will see they will just put one headline. So most of the time, if you don't put the news and read everything inside, you may just see the headline. They will just say, oh, so person said Peter will be this. So person said obedient that. And you be like, what's going on here? So I really want to beg us, guys, we need to, in fact, Sino was saying earlier that PDP's petition is nonsense. I won't agree with him. But I want to even beg us, we will help PDP push the things that are inside their petition. We will help them. Because PDP will not push it. So everything, our own petition, if any petition against what is happening now, we will help everybody to push it. There's really a lot to be done. And on that note, I also want to say, like Saddam has said, we need to be doing something. The best we can do for Peter Obi now is what we are doing. really, first of all, we can't afford to be giving up, we can't afford to be weighed down and all that. Then you saw this hashtag that we're talking about. Even if you type good morning, you cannot put the hashtag. Even if you type anything, just put the hashtag. We need to create so much awareness around this. I was telling someone yesterday that the truth is that some people may say, oh, whatever people are doing on Twitter will not affect the judiciary and all that. Let me tell you how this will work. The truth is, this particular case is, I don't want to say different. Okay, this particular case is different from every other case. Because the truth is, judiciary knows. Before now, the only way they used to deceive us is we don't know things. Like, we really do not know things, to be honest. Nobody knows Nigeria Constitution, nobody knows Electoral Act. We are just going, cruise, laugh about everything, which makes us one of the, they consider us the happiest people in the world and all that. But now the judiciary knows that people know a lot of things. Even some of the things that we know. Some people, even some of them, they may not. So by the time they start to see that, people know these things. People know these things. For example, what INEC is doing now, INEC wants to jokingly say, you see, for example, INEC was saying, oh, the electronic transmission is not compulsory. And everybody came out with their videos, their memos, their everything. Judiciary is seeing it. Those people are seeing that say, we don't fear this one. People know. Everybody know. So we need to keep telling them that we know all these things. That's why it is important that we push these things online. It's not as if we are not only pushing it just to make noise or just to say we are seeing here.
I'm so sorry. That was a mistake.
I don't know. So it's really because as we push it, they need to know that people now know Nigerian Constitution. We were 1 million match crew yesterday. And people were talking about Nigerian Constitution. You would think I was just like, what is going on here? I mean, people that are not lawyers were quoting Nigerian Constitution. I was like, we are ready. So we just need to keep up that momentum. Then lastly, for INEC, let me just tell you guys that for me, I'm really pained about INEC, to be honest. I don't know why I'm always pained about INEC, because INEC is doing the most. INEC, I don't know why INEC is defending. Okay, let me not say I don't know. We know now, but it's annoying that INEC, the biggest defenders of APC is INEC. The biggest defenders of INEC is APC, as they are doing some kind of bromax. And in this election, INEC they don't know. People don't really know the degree of problem INEC caused. Elections happened today, and we saw what happened. And why that happened was because people now know that, all the governors now know that. Before election, there was this talk of ballot snatching does not work again. Don't snatch ballot box. Don't do this. And people even talks were afraid. Then immediately INEC endorsed February 25th. Governor say, more. People say this thing, all those things where they talk that play. They increased whatever talking and whatever they were doing. So I'm really hoping that our judiciary is going to fix that mess. And it's supposed to be very easy for them. This is not a difficult case. It's very simple. Like Odisa Bakuba State, it's a simple thing. They go to court. In fact, on a normal day, in the first 1 week, this case was don't close. It's a simple question. Did Tinubu get is 25% compulsory in FCT or not? Court will say yes. If they say yes, okay, the case closed. If they say it's not compulsory, okay, what's the next one? Can a drug lord be a president? Yes or no? Court will say yes. If they say yes, okay, we'll continue the case. But if they say no, okay, case closed. Can someone that forged certificate, forge this? I don't know how they will go past that one. Forged certificate, was a female in the certificate, his age is different, everything is, I don't know how for me, I just think it's not going to work. It's not good. So if you are here, you are part of the judiciary, you are part of the system in any way, it's not going to work. That's just the fact. So it should sink in. Obedience, let's be pushing it.
And please understand that for each one they approve, it gets constituted into our law and our constitution and becomes an argument that can be legally won with that precedent henceforth forever.
I am telling you, it's scary. I don't know why people don't understand that. This is beyond, Peter B was not declared winner. It's beyond it. It's total. This is a total. Whatever happens from this case is a total destruction of Nigerian system as a whole. The system was already bad. So if this case goes wrongly, the system is gone. To be honest, it's literally gone. So for me, let's keep pushing. This is not the time to give up. This is not the time to feel sad. I mean, you can feel sad, it's fine, it's your feeling. But for every time you feel sad, for every time you feel down, you need to come back up sharp, because these guys, we are not giving them any breathing space. And at that
Who
point,
they even feel sad? Now even now the obedient movement come dey sweet.
Who they feel sad about?
no.
Now
Saddam,
movement
maybe
even
some
begin
people,
sweet self. I don't know about you, but now obedient movement begin
You can't
sweet.
talk this thing like 3 times in your submission. Who they feel? People there on DM say they feel sad about. I want to know, please.
see, Saddam, some people, I mean, every now and then you go relate to some people who say, whether or not you like it, some people every now and then feel like, oh, they wish we just won on the 25th and everything is gone, right? We don't have to stress.
Let's
But
say
I really want to encourage us.
disappointed is more of the word.
Yeah,
Everybody
disappointed.
felt
Yeah, I think disappointed is actually the right
but
word.
I don't think
Yeah.
any people feel sad as much as people feel angry. People feel
Yeah.
rage.
I think disappointed is the word that captures it. Please,
Yeah.
that anger, let's channel it at every point. You see this PTP thing, that's a broadcasting of the presidential tribunal thing. It's something that I really hope everybody go and sign the petition if you've not signed. If you are a lawyer, you can write a letter to the CJN, to whatever. Please go and do it. See, this case must be broadcasted. It also has something to add to how transparent it can be. If you want thief and say people know they look you, it go there easier. But if you want thief and say everybody they look you, you want thief, you yourself go still advise yourself. So at that point, I'll give the mic.
Thank you, my
If it's
brother.
not even broadcast live, I don't think Labour Party should go ahead with it. It must be broadcast.
We must collect our mandate.
It must be free and fair.
Anyways, in case you don't know, now in Nigeria, you don't need to contest a primary election to be the Senate president. Okay, let's go quickly to Mommy Bolanle, and then we'll take Joe Bidient.
Hello. Cindy has been here now.
Oh, sorry, Cindy. Cindy. Are you ready to speak now, Cindy?
Mommy Bonali, please wait. She has been here. You come after her, please. Thank you.
Saddam, Sizu, Jimmy. Good evening, everyone. I really missed you guys, though. A lot of things have been coming up, and in fact, it's scary to imagine the president-elect because is a time bomb waiting to explode. A lot of people had said what I had in mind, so I'll just go straight to the ones they didn't touch. I'll still go back to even before election, I've been pleading with us that those that are in Nigeria, that I will encourage them to register as a Labour Party member. And I think the reality with this court case, please don't think I'm just saying it. There is a reason for it. It's of paramount importance that we should go to our wards, please. Kindly register, pick up your membership card. Because this case will get to one level, they will start asking for the membership strength of Labour Party. If they can't get any other points, believe you me, that one could score a cheap point for them. Please, I want to beg everybody on this platform, you are in diaspora, call your people back home, hence they are 18 and above. Tell them to go to the nearest Labour Party office in their ward. It's free. I have registered. They should go and identify, be a registered member. Please, I am begging us. We know we want to recover our mandate, but this is one of the key points, the things we need to do as a person, as an active citizen. Please, we really need it. It's of paramount importance. Thank you. This is the message I bring this evening. I yield.
All right, Cindy, thank you very much.
Thank you, Cindy. Good.
Okay, Joe Bidient. If Joe Bidient is not ready, let's go, Mommy Bolande then.
Hello. Good evening, Emma Saddam, Sizzle, Jimmy, speaking Nigerian, everybody on the speaker section. I greet everybody. I'm actually surprised that a lot of people didn't know about the perjury. I know when in 2019, when we weren't sure who was going to become the candidate for APC, I remember seeing him saying, "Oh, he's going to be one," and I was like, "Oh my God, no!" I remember doing my research then, and I found all of it. And I know Fawemi the late Gani Faweimi, took the IG to court because to force him to respond to petitions asking him to investigate the perjury and stuff. And I think it went all the way to the Supreme Court. And I think it was founded that because at the time Tinubu had immunity as a governor, that they would come back, he could actually do it after the term finished. But when that was asked, he said there was no appetite for it. I also remember this same Keyamo took the Lagos State Assembly to court for the same matter because they were asked to investigate it, and within a week they had found him not guilty of any wrongdoing. Which is not surprising because if anybody knows the way Tinubu works, he makes sure that he has his people everywhere. And the Lagos State Assembly were more or less his cronies. So they weren't about to do anything about it. And that was why when he wanted to submit his documents to INEC this time, that was why he left out the primary and secondary schools he attended, because he knew that he was already busted, that he didn't attend those schools, and the sad thing is that INEC then didn't do anything about it, and it's like criminality after criminality. I mean, it's like INEC has just become another one of those government agencies that are just full of criminally minded individuals. Right. So I have always known about it, and I know the matter, like N6 was talking about earlier on, about the matter being in court, because it's like this is blatant perjury, and yet they're ignoring it. It's just it beggars belief how the extent of the state capture. Right. So anyway, let's go back to him. Nobody really knows who he is or where he's from. Right. So you remember, go back to King of Boys. Right. In King of Boys, right, if you remember, the woman.
That is fiction. Let us, yes, facts.
No. I'll draw the parallels. I was just trying to, because I know a lot of people watched it. Right. So now let's draw the parallels from there. Right. Alaja Mogaji was apparently the person the person in Lagos that you people are alluding to, where the heroin came from. Who do you think was doing that operation? Alaja, she was the one on the streets. She was the one who had all of the, when it came to, even Awolowo used her because, she had street cred. She had the streets of Lagos, right? And that was, so it is been said that she was the one, she's the King of Boys, right? But if you remember, both her child and even an adopted child she had both died, and Ade Tiger, right? So think about it. When Tinubu came to work for Alaja, that was the work he was doing, right? And whilst a cousin of mine was insisting, because my cousin is related to apparently we're related to Alaja Mogaji by marriage. I didn't know that till recent, right? And it was like, actually, initially, Alaja Mogaji was upset with Tinubu because Tinubu had stolen some of her money and had gone to America. But then when he got to America, he was first a low-level taxi driver who was pushing heroin before he moved. Once he reconciled with this woman, he moved up in the organization, and it was then that he was opening the bank accounts and the rest of it.
Auntie Bolanle, please 1 second. Saddam, waiting Auntie Bolanle they talk now. This is the 4th time I'm hearing it. The first and second time I heard it was in a barber shop in Chicago here. Honestly speaking, what she's saying now will be like story. I've heard it 4 times. This is the 4th time she's mentioning it now. Carry on, Auntie Bolanle.
Right. So that is the connection. When people kept on saying King of Boys, and we're saying it's fiction, it's not fiction. Anybody that knows the streets of Lagos, right, will know that this woman held the streets of Lagos. In fact, her influence extended to some of the Southwest, and she worked with UPN to get Awolowo won the states in the Southwest and stuff. So it's like Abibato herself never had, well, she had children that died. She herself, she obviously she wasn't his mom. But the only other thing that I was told, which I kind of was like, oh really? They said no, that what happened, that yes, there was a Bola Tinubu, right? But this Bola Tinubu was not really related to Abibatu in the way people think she is. I don't know the extent to which that is true, but that was the same person that told me the earlier part of what I'm saying. Is the same person that told me this, that when he got to America, he bought that back in the day, you could buy the social security number of somebody who had died, and that you basically took on that person's identity, right? So that is how he took over the identity of the person who is Bola Tinubu, right? I don't know if we'll ever know 100%, but what is sure is that the man has committed perjury. We don't know who he is, other than his persona since the early 70s. Before that, we don't know where he was born. We have no real.
With a certain group of top oil moguls some weeks ago. In one of their discussions, a very close friend to Governor Adeleke gave a rundown of how Tinubu, his original mom from Oshun, was a maid who got pregnant for her boss. When the wife of the boss found out, she threw his mom out. This was how his birth mom found her way to Lagos and did trading at Oyingbo Market. It was at that market she met his adopted mother, who took his birth mom in. She gave birth and handed Tinubu to his adopted mom, that's Abibatu, and that was the last time they ever heard of her. But you see, I can't fault this story, neither can I collaborate it. Somebody came out with his chest and wrote this. But I also, as a citizen of Nigeria, cannot have such disgusting, shoddy, unfounded stories flying around about my president, with him, least of all, being the person that has gone to even authenticate these stories. I repeat, you hear that your mother dumped you, abandoned you, whatever, you became a billionaire, and you have never told the world that story? You've never looked for your mom, whether to give her the middle finger or to reconcile her? None of this till today? Okay, there's one story now, they adopted you grown up. There's one, you are from Bornu. There's one now, you are from Iragbiji. Then there's this one, your mother was a maid that got pregnant. What the fuck is going? Who is this person now? We're not talking about the class prefect, for God's sake. We're talking of the president of the most populous black nation, and we don't even know who his mother is. What's going on here? I beg, I yield, man. This thing is just irritating, please. It's like I'm discussing the Twilight Zone. Does anybody feel the same?
Bro,
Jesus.
I think I can relate with you. It's disgusting, but I mean that's where we found ourselves. But you see, one thing from your monologue, it was a beautiful one. But one thing I'd like to mention from your monologue, you made a statement about PDP's petition, bro. I've actually taken time to go through that petition. That petition, Tiku, jokes apart, that petition solid. And to me, it's like a landmine for APC. If one go catch them, if PDP petition, from PDP's petition, one go catch them or you go catch them from Labour. It's something just gotta give. But with the document Atiku claims he has, that document is solid and it's something the judicial system cannot do away
Let
with.
me hold on. Let me
Go ahead.
kill this brief once and for all. The PDP is a criminal organization. They ruled Nigeria for 16 years. There was no progress. It was cosmetic at best. Nigerians voted them out comfortably, even though we were sold a lie and we were media and politically manipulated into voting Muhammadu Buhari. We can all agree to that. Now, the APC has done 8 years. They have done a worse job than the PDP. But let me explain. The PDP's petition makes sense in its petitional merits. But I need you guys to remember in Labour that a conspiracy was brewed to rig Peter Obi to third position when he actually won this election. So I'm very wary of holding brief or anything for the man who came second, because in PDP's petition, they're not even going for a rerun. The petition states, give it to us, we came second. Please remember that is what the crux of their petition states. Also, they are not, even Sowore at worst. These guys are also bringing somebody who is as tainted, who is as criminally minded. Let us not forget that a man, Lion of Jada, brought out his life. He used to work for Atiku and has videos and records out there. So, as much as we're going to give their petition some merit, our petition alone, I repeat, our petition alone goes to the crux of the matter. Their petition is very rare, very documented, this, that. Our petition goes to the crux of the APC's candidates. And for that is more than enough for me. But like I said, everybody does have their points. We'll even wait for Sowore's petition. I bet you there'll be some points in Sowore's petition. Do we then hold a space for Sowore as well? Am I making sense, Jimmy? But at this point, I'll yield.
Well, I think I get what you mean. I get your point. I'm just.
We're in a fight with three people. One person thinks he's smart by
Yeah.
sitting on the sidelines and is waiting for me to punch the first person well. Now, what I'm promising that person on the sideline is that me, after I finish beating this one, you will feel say I would have been more tired after fighting this person, so you step in. What I'm telling PDP and what we are promising them is that the beating, the vex where we go carry beat them. Now the one where like this one I use beat this one, where then beat her for in front of PDP on the beating where we go this one. That let's finish with this one that got to qualify first. God bless you.
The same whip we use on the wife is the same one we use for the second
May
wife.
God bless you. So yeah, I don't want anybody to think we are
I
beating PDP or we have forgotten them. Those ones are a criminal organization who feel they are smart. So when we finish beating APC, we'll beat APC with hand. PDP, we feel use plank them. So they let them not even think that they're not even on public holiday. They are not. God bless you all, please. You continue. I've been listening to submissions.
All right, guys. Thank you.
It was Joe Obedient to go.
Joe Obedient, if you're not ready to speak, then let's go with
Joe Obedient is here.
Joe Obedient, I can't hear you.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
Carry on, brother. I can hear
Don't
you.
mind those, Gary.
Fire on.
2-0.
Joe Obedient, be like saying that your line, they clear pass. So which network it is?
Nah, MTN idea right now. Guys, good evening. Oh, I'm Moda Ogunlere, aka Bola A Tinubu, also known as Bola and the APC clown. I posted on the Jumbotron what most people need to read. Yinka Odemakin's letter to Bola Tinubu. I don't think that letter was ever replied. And in situations like this, silence means you're saying the truth. The man analyzed completely Bola Tinubu's personality. Everything you're talking about Bola Tinubu, he mentioned it small. And I wish he did a sequel or he has a memoir that will one day leak about Bola Tinubu.
COVID killed that man. It
I
hurts.
sometimes I want to believe that it's not COVID, because look at how everybody that has come, everybody around him that knows anything about him is gone, unavailable, or working with him. COVID was a cover that killed a lot of people. It was very convenient for a lot of people to die, but I don't know. So yeah, about his passport is his Chicago stint. Me, I say it, I'm saying it, and until somebody proves me wrong, I don't believe Bola Ahmed Tinubu went to Chicago University. What happened? I think whoever died after graduation. He wasn't a student in that university. So Bola Ahmed Tinubu took over from Bola A. Tinubu after graduation, and he just took the person's life. That is why it was that easy, because if you have a sex issue, there will be accommodations and all those things that will have to be sex related, and it will be corrected even if it's a mistake, a typographical error. Each time your file is called up, it's going to select. If they are going to select, let's assume you are saying in a dorm, male female mixed, they'll have to push you to either a mixed or a female dorm. At every time when you are doing counting number of students, you are going to count as female. So I am very sure that thing was not just there. That person was already there. And like I don't know who spoke and said that thing that happens here, Grandmaster, that you send passports from wherever you are and they lift the passport picture. They can actually take out ink. They do it with checks. Fraudsters do it a lot with checks and passports. They lift the ink and change some information. So I'm sure that's what they did with Bola Tinubu. But it's after graduation, because the man is not as eloquent as someone that will come out with a first class from a US university, except
Joel Obedient, you are on to something, my brother. It was after graduation this thing was done.
Because
he didn't go to that school. There's no record of him in that school.
It was very easy for him to get a job with, of course, any school, anywhere he's going to work will ask for, would send a letter to the university. University will reply, yes, Bola A. Tinubu, assumably Ahmed Tinubu, attended us, like they sent back to Nigeria, until David Hundeyin did his spinner to get his admission records or the information, and now found out that I was female. Bola Tinubu is not as intelligent as people think he is. He's an evil genius, yes. There are people that are good at evil, even without going to the university. You don't have to go to the university to be good at evil. He's an evil genius. I give that to him. But is Bola Ahmed Tinubu eloquent? No, he's not. I'll probably post a video of him from 1999 and another one from 2003. You will see that the same person, this person you people are talking of, that the person is not fluent. He's talking like he has medical or mental issues and stuff like that. He has always spoken like that. The only difference is then he had a touch of fake accent, which he has been riding on. People just see him roll his tongue. He's trying to roll. He cannot even fake an accent. That's the most annoying part.
Joel, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever seen a heroin addict before?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of drug addicts. I don't know if it's heroin, cocaine.
No, heroin. Go and look for a video of a heroin addict. You now understand that
a functional addict is much more like what you're talking about.
I have one on my TL. I have one.
You see, you understand that stuttering very well.
Yeah, so the man,
Baba na junkie.
That one a short thing. So the man is intentionally doing something. He does what he does to get that thing they call what's that thing when you don't want to be involved directly in a case. You plausible deniability. So he uses all his shameless people that are ready to lie on the ground for him to step on them with mud. The FFKs, the Festus Keyamos, Onanugas, these people that would have been nobodies So it's an opportunity.
That's why he can never do an interview. It's impossible for him to do an
How
interview.
would you run for president and win presidency without doing an interview with press that controls the country you are trying to rule? This man is actually working, and the perjury matter is the one that I have always said that how you there is something when you even when you enter the university, you write, even jam. I attest that I, Sheyi Makinde, affirms that all documents attached herein are, to the best of my knowledge, genuine and whatever. And that disclaimer, the only disclaimer you get is that to the best of my knowledge, meaning except maybe whoever gave me the document, as in the originator of the document gave me a falsified document, but to the best of my knowledge, this is it. So he signed that on multiple occasions. So he has multiple counts of perjury holding for him from Senate to House of to governorship again, now to presidential. So multiple counts, and I'm sure he did it even in the APC. So that guy has multiple counts of perjury hanging on his neck. So he wants to perjure his way into presidency. It would not happen. It can never happen. It should never happen. Then any judge that sits down and sees all this evidence with what I think they call it burden of proof or whatever in law, with all this evidence, now comes and says, oh, we strike this out. You know you are the reason Nigeria was never as in you are the reason Nigeria is either going to never be, or democracy in Nigeria is just dead. You killed democracy that we have managed to get, that has not seen 30 years. You killed it, whichever judge. I'll yield the mic here.
Thank you very much, Jubident, for that brilliant analysis. All right, let's take a lawyer now. UC Maxwell, please come in here. I think we need a legal aspect to this discussion right now. So if you can come in, UC Maxwell.
Hello, good evening. Let me call you back. Hello, good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. Saddam, I greet you plenty. Good evening from my time zone. Sizu, good evening to you. Zos, my senior brother, it's been a long time. Zos, I greet you plenty. To all the well-meaning Nigerians and obedience here. Of course, no need of going over names. It's a pleasure to be here once again, and thank you for all you do. So, the problem with the entire situation is not now that we are talking about it. Of course, we are talking about it now to in order not to fall into the consequences tomorrow. But some of the consequences that some people need to know is the fact that we are talking about a person who has dealt in drugs, who would definitely turn a blind eyes to the proliferation of hard drugs in Nigeria. You cannot take that away, because definitely he's just going to be a kingpin who would simply allow the free trade of drugs around Nigeria. These are some of the consequences that people do not understand. Another consequence is that a man who has forged basically every certificate that he has ever held would definitely not have a problem with putting people into political positions, or leaders of parastatals, agencies and the likes with forged certificates. So you would have a CTC that is no longer functioning. That is the Code of Conduct Tribunal. Code of Conduct, basically. It will no longer be functional. Would have a court system that would no longer be functional, because of course, for a man who has this kind of track record, he would simply stifle the courts. He would make sure that the normal processes of things no longer go as they should. So it's a problem that we have to nip in the bud. Very, very important. We are not doing this. It gets some things where some people know they understand. So when I'm sitting down by the side of people and I'm speaking on spaces and I drop off, they would be like, why do you worry your head over these things? You will not see these consequences now. I run a business, for heaven's sake. I have a print company. Basically, everything that we do in printing is imported in Nigeria. Paper is imported. There is no functional paper mill in Nigeria anymore. Paper is imported, ink is imported, machines are imported. Every damn thing in the print industry is imported. Now you can no longer use light. Everybody who has a print machine has to buy diesel on a daily basis because the light is no longer constant. In fact, the times that you have light, you have several issues with NEPA coming to say a lot of things in your offices, block you from even using the light. So it would continue to go on like that because we have failed to do all we need to do. So we are not even talking about the generation that is coming, because now we go still suffer before we talk about the generation that is coming. We are talking about a man who is going to set Nigeria over 50 years backwards. Because if you have a lot of important parastatals no longer working in your government in a democratic society, the governance will collapse. ICPC will no longer function. I guarantee that. These guys that are responsible for NAPTIP, child trafficking, and every other form of trafficking, they will no longer function. And I can continue to list it on and on and on. So raise your voice as much as you can. Raise your voice as much as you can. What we have here is about to be a full-blown abuse of not just the executive arm of governance, but the judicial arm of governance. So that is why we are asking for the broadcast of the proceedings of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. It is very important, and for a proceeding that concerns the majority of every Nigerian, not just majority, even foreigners who have themselves in Nigeria, because it is an election that is supposed to see a number one man in Nigeria. So basically everybody is concerned. So how can everybody be concerned and these proceedings are not held live? Even if they are not going to be, or they are not usually held live, now we have people who are asking for it to be held live. So simply give it to them. One of the things I see with Tinubu's issue of perjury is that you cannot even point a place against him and you would actually feel relaxed, because anywhere you point, there are other places to point. He has a result of primary school that is forged, a result of secondary school that is forged, a result of university that is forged, a working career that is forged. Everything basically about this man, a birth certificate that is forged. That is, if at all you have even seen the birth certificate, because as of now we know that there are about 3 or 4 existing birth documents about this guy. So it's a full-blown problem against the entirety of Nigeria. And for now, I am very much concerned about the live broadcast of the Presidential Election Tribunal petition. So please, I'm begging each and every one of you, the change.org link is out there. Please, if you have not signed that petition, go out there and sign it. Some of the letters that we'll be putting out to very respectable bodies would have to reference this petition, because the petition would show. I know that Nigeria is not like the America or the United Kingdom, where petitions like this could cause the legislature to actually deliberate on issues. But then this can be a leverage point to formulate our arguments, and for these agencies to see reasons for our cry. It's unfortunate that the media, whom we expect to be amplifying these things, are not actually doing it. So that is why we can only leverage the social media as we have it today. If we go to the media to amplify this, believe you me, they would ask us for money of over 100,000 naira. The last time we tried to amplify the issue of when we initiated a suit at the Federal High Court to see that students are released to go home and vote, we instituted that action in the Federal High Court. When we called the media, they asked us for money, and we had to pay over, I think, over 100 or 200 and something thousand. You can imagine that, asking for students who make up over 40% of registered voters in Nigeria, but we had to pay for it. So out medias who they feel have corn in their pockets, take a look at it. Go and make findings about the medias that are owned by politicians. Over they began to see the role that the media plays, because they saw that the media had a lot of influence as to decision making, or as to the feedback that reaches the people, and they began to buy the ideas of owning media houses. So don't take everything you see on the media for free. Like, make your own research, for heaven's sake. That is why some of these spaces that are being held out here, try as much as possible to reel out facts and figures. You are welcome here. Forget positions, APC, PDP guys, but please, I want to guarantee you that you are very welcome here, because where else can you get history as they don't come out from curriculum other than places like this? So come here and gain as one or two instances or 3 or 4 instances, but just accept it and learn all you could, because we are beginning to see a lot of ignorance flying about, and unfortunately some people who we believe to have gained some appointments illegitimately, of course, like the son that some of us know, the senior advocate of nuisance, they have glorified themselves in peddling fake information. They've glorified themselves in actually making very false legal arguments in the public. And we begin to question where they obtain these things from. Because somebody mentioned Itse Sage here. As far back as 2019, I said that I regretted ever buying his textbook on contract. I regretted ever buying it, because if you can have such a professor and a senior advocate of Nigeria come out to make a mockery of a law which he has advanced over the years, which he has taught students in the higher institutions, you begin to question their morality, because it's not just about what they know, but it's about their moral capacity. There's a high moral decadence in anybody who has gone into the political party of the APC. So don't expect anything reasonable from them. I always ask myself, how have we coped for 8 years of the governance of the APC? How? Ask yourself, because everything has basically been multiplied by 100. I see your hand, I'll round up. Everything has basically been multiplied, but we have played, some sort of out. So the opportunity we get to change the governance, they are still trying to, steal it away from us. So I crave your indulgence, please. Put it out there. The handle or the hashtag is broadcast PEPT live. As much as we can, we'll make sure that this is realized. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak, and kudos to you guys for all you do. God bless you.
Thank you very much, UC Maxwell. God bless you, my brother. All right, let's take end about politics and then
Sorry,
Chairman.
please. Before end back policy comes in, please. Sorry, my brother, please. I wanted to reiterate something. I think this is a major reason why APC have been crying since. I think it's very important. Nigerians, I think this should be the pitch we play every time on this platform. Why they are angry, why they are crying. This is what will happen. The eventuality that the judiciary do not sit up to do their job right. I think Nigeria, I believe in this document. That is why I'm so lawful. That is why I'm so confident. And that is why however extreme it is, Sean, I am saying it on national TV. I don't like to take risks. I'm not taking any risks. Swearing in a ticket that has not met the constitutional requirements of the Constitution, okay, is ending democracy. Quote me on it. That's your interpretation. That is my interpretation. And that is indeed a correct interpretation. You cannot swear people who have not met the constitutional requirement. You can't do that. If you did it, you have done something unlawful, something unconstitutional. And I'm repeating it. Whoever does not meet the constitutional requirement must never be sworn in. You said my name. If you like, I can say it again. I'm Betty Baba Ahmed. I'm not taking risks with my safety and with my life. But I'm repeating, swear in anybody who does not meet the constitutional requirements of our country. You are engaging in an unconstitutional act. Mr. President, do not hold that inauguration. CJ and your lordship, do not partake in unconstitutionality. I am taking this risk for the sake of my country. Yes, it is extreme, and I'm saying it. It was more extreme for Yakubu to issue that certificate. It was reckless. He's putting all our lives in danger. All of us were already at risk. So what is there again in me taking risks again? What have they not done against Nigeria? What have they not abused in Nigeria? Now they'll take the constitution where it is clear it says and get 24. After that, and FCT. They fail to get it. They are going to swear this man in, and I should be afraid. I will not be.
I'm telling you that on the
I just have to say this. So for all these animals thinking that Nigerians it will just happen. No. The moment you try that nonsense, you have sent that country, you have sent it back. Whatever happens going forward is on Buhari and co. The moment you try to swear in a man that has no jurisdiction in our constitution, a fucking criminal, a man that has committed perjury to be the next. How?
The man submitted only his university in the current form that
Yes.
he used to run for president under APC. But in 1992, he wrote the 3 schools complete. In 1993, he wrote 3 schools complete. Then you're finding out that he did not even attend the 3 schools. Then even the Chicago that he submitted as the 3rd school, the degree of that one is fake. Then it's proven that the Bola A, who might not even be Ahmed, who can be any Anu Oluwa, could be anything. Bola A Tinubu is a female. Is a female. And this is the person that you people are supporting to be president of Nigeria, even worse, after Buhari, not even after a president that has walked to, after Buhari, with Shetima as vice president, not even one kind of Shibanjo, with Shetima as vice president. You people are, and you are the progressives, Abi. You are the fascists. It's you guys are the real bat idiots. I think it's because Saddam. Let me tell you something. I think it's because we as obedience, we did not create name for these people that was painful. Maybe like that bad starts. We know drum arm. Now why then they get mouth?
N6. Let me tell you, if you like create whatever you create, you cannot shame people that are shameless.
Abi, the utterly shameless.
If for you to alone to support Tinubu alone, you have no shame. You have no moral. You have no moral at all. So for this,
you look at their foolishness, and no wonder they are spending 12 billion naira on 10 fire trucks and $800 million to share during subsidy is a great idea. Saddam, as much as I know that June 1st will be the beginning of nemesis, Saddam, I'm also very, very worried. 750 naira a liter is an inflation level you cannot understand, considering what you are going through now, bro.
My brother.
750, and everybody should be that. That date is scarier to me than May 29th.
N6, you know that 800 million where they go borrow, they fit use and fix one refinery.
Yes, now.
God bless you, brother.
Fix just tell the modular refineries in Nigeria to start working. We have a whole lot of refineries.
Even the Dangote one, they are shouting. How much remain for it to start working today?
God have mercy. APC.
But it's to share it for us like our Majiri. But meanwhile, remember that the agency that will share the money is charging between $50 to $100 million out of the $800 million as contingency, maybe to open office and to rent and buy Land Cruisers and fuel and things to drive around. The real 4 people in a hotel.
All right, let's
and then they are telling us that they want to do census. And the Middle Belt are woke. And breaking news this morning, the head of the Nigerian Census Board says we are no more putting ethnicity and religion in the next Nigerian census. But guess what? The census is going to cost us $2 billion United States dollars. And they say they'll count this entire country in 3 days. That is something that we'll also have to touch on. We Nigerians are saying that please don't count us. Don't count us.
We are not here on the census
we'll go
space.
to that.
We discussed this on our last census space now. We did that on the last census space. We did that.
God
we
bless.
heard all this stuff. They say they're not in 3 days. They want to count. It took Yakubu Mahmoud 5 days. They are still counting till now. Up to now, IREF, they're still uploading results. They are still counting presidential results till now, as we are speaking. They're still uploading. It took them over 3 months. If you take them 3 months to complete this election, then they want to use 3 days to count over 250 million people. Nigeria is just a fucking scam under this party. But let us hear the reason why Tinubu did not submit his certificate. Uncle Festus.
Not advice. In those days, great men today, they wrote GCE from home. Not everybody in those days went to the 4 walls of the schools or secondary schools. I'll mention names. One of the greatest lawyers this country has ever produced. That had the best.
Hey, if your grandpapa goes to
Saddam, do you understand? But he was governor for 8 years and a senator with certain schools submitted. So you see what Festus Keyamo is trying to defend early. That perjury alone He's going to prison.
Please, end bad policies can come in now, please.
Hey, good evening, Saddam. Can you hear me? See, for me personally, this is what I'll be doing going forward, and I will advise people that are on this space to also do. Let us focus all our attention on the judiciary and putting whatever pressure you want to put, whether it's hashtag or tweet or whatever, to make sure that this case ends before May 29th. Lawyers have come out and they've told us that it is possible to conclude this case within 1 week. Now, all the responses and whatever has been completed. This case should end before May 29th. The reason why I'm saying this is this. We have 6 weeks, exactly just 6 weeks to May 29th. I don't want to believe that APC and BAT, they were not aware of this perjury case, or they were not aware of the Chicago State University, or they were not aware of the drug trafficking and all those things. These guys, they are aware of all these cases. They are aware. For this man to have the mind to contest this election, and for APC, despite knowing all these facts and figures, to give him their tickets. APC is a party, we should understand the opponents we are dealing with. This is a party that is ready to destroy every institution in this country. They've destroyed DSS, they've destroyed every institution in this country in their parts. We have 6 weeks for me to save our country. I don't want to put my hope on interim government. The reason why is because it is still the same APC that have the apparatus to form interim governments. Right now, we all know politics is all about negotiations. The faction in the APC that is warring Tinubu's faction, they lost in the APC primary. They could not stop him from becoming APC candidate. They could not stop him from buying INEC. Do you think that it is now that we will be able to form an interim government? I don't want to believe in any APC faction forming any interim government or anything. For me, the only chance Nigerians we have now is to make sure that this case ends before May 29th. Because if you make the mistake thinking that if they swear in Tinubu, one Supreme Court or one court in Nigeria will remove that man, Tinubu is ready to use all the instruments of the Constitution to remove any Supreme Court judge that will not rule in favor of him. Already, APC have House of Rep. They have Senate. They can rewrite the Constitution about these guys are.
I mean, they removed Onogen. They removed Onogen clearly, so you're very right.
These guys are dangerous. Nigeria, and I feel we are falling into that trap. We should not be talking about any other thing than talking about the judiciary to conclude this case before May 29th. Because Nigerians, we need to open our eyes. We are slipping slowly into a failed state. If you think that they will swear in Tinubu May 29 and one case will continue, you are living in dreamland though. This man has been planning this thing for 20-something years. That is why he kept on sponsoring people to go for House of Assembly, Senate, and all those things. House of Assembly now, they are talking about there's negotiation going on. The faction in APC that is warring Tinubu, that have been warring Tinubu since the APC primaries, they are negotiating. So I will not put my hope that there will be any temporary government or anything. If we do not put pressure on the Supreme Court
to conclude this case before May 29, forget it. Otilo. Because this is the window we have. We have 6 weeks. I've been tweeting about it since morning. If you go to the Supreme Court website now, that Supreme Court website has been shut down. Luckily for me, before they shut it down, I went there and I screenshotted their information and all those things. It's on my profile. We should send them messages, send them emails. That is what we should be concentrating on right now. Any space, any tweet you make should be end the PTE before May 29th. Because we're playing with fire. This guy knows all this case you are talking about. He knows the perjury. He knows every single damn thing. The game plan is to elongate it and make sure it gets in there. Because his motto from day one, Tinubu's motto from day one, if you watch that video, is grab power at all costs. You are dealing with a man that does not care if he destroys the judiciary. Tinubu is ready to remove all the Supreme Court judges until he finds a Supreme Court judge that would rule in his favor. They've done it to all our institutions. If this man, as an ordinary citizen, can capture INEC and do what he did on February 25th, do you think it's the judiciary that he will not destroy when he gets in there? We have 6 weeks to save our country. 6 weeks. Today makes it 6 weeks to save our country. And when I go on the timeline, I see a lot of unnecessary, distractive talking. This INEC and Beavers and all these things that they are sponsoring people to do is a distraction. The election is over. You put pressure on INEC from now to tomorrow, it will not change the results. What we should focus on now is to put as much pressure as you can, whether physically, whether it's protest, whether it's online, whether it's hashtag, whatever you can do. Wake up in the morning, tweet about it, let it trend. The same way we trended Peter Obi for 9 months, we should be trending that this election, lawyers have come out, and the lawyers came out, they took risk. They've opened our eyes to let us know that this thing can be concluded within a week. So now that the trial has not started, let's start putting that pressure. Because what I see happening, they will hold 1 or 2 sittings and then now adjourn to June or July. We should not let that happen. We should not let that happen, Nigerians. Because all our effort for the past 9 months will be for waste. Tinubu knows he has committed perjury. APC know. They all know. Tinubu will not go through all this stress. Bribe INEC, spend all this money. Do you think he's just going to give it away without having an end game plan? He has an end game plan. And the end game plan is to make sure he gets in there, use the House of Rep, use the Senate. They can rewrite the Constitution. They can find any technicalities that they want to do. But we have 6 weeks, a short window, to stop that from happening. Please, that should be our number one focus for now.
Let me say something here, sir, and I'll need you to answer my question. I've heard what you're saying, but you see, there is a bit of a doxology when people make this type of statements. Until we get the complete names of either the judges or whoever legislatures will be in charge of our petition, until the petition itself even starts in court. What you're saying is good. Yes, we can all highlight, like we are doing currently, that one of the major importances we need is the petition to be beamed live. But the major way of putting pressure on the judiciary, which a lot of people have failed to understand, is what we are currently doing, which is literally judging the case before the case comes before the judges. We have put it to the world. This is who this man is. You know, there was a statement that was floating around that time that when a criminal tells you go to court, his parents are or his family member is the judge. But I also refuted that statement by reminding you people that if a criminal commits a crime in a marketplace, commits a crime on camera, commits a crime recorded in front of people, commits a crime in front of the international community, even if his mother, his grandparents are the judges, that criminal will go to prison.
N6, let
So
me
don't
let me
get
ask you this question, right?
okay.
Look at Sudan
So
today.
what we are doing
See,
currently
look at Sudan.
is also pressure on the okay. So okay,
Look
ask me your
at
question,
Sudan.
sir.
Wait, let me just finish, right? It has happened before. Look at Sudan. Sudan is a failed state. Look at Venezuela. These are countries that gradually, when you attack every institution in that country, you keep attacking and attacking and attacking, you will crumble all the institutions. Already, our judiciary is standing on one leg. They have been ruling on technicalities for the past how many years, right? I cannot go to bed and believe that Tinubu, knowing all his baggages, right, for him to come out and say, I want to contest for presidency, that this man will not have planned or have a plan.
I asked a simple question, sir. Okay, let me just simplify my question. Currently, as we speak, obedience are in Abuja protesting. Currently, as we speak, every time there is a court ruling, right from even when Peter Obi submitted his petition, obedience gather in their tens of thousands around the courthouse. You've seen this. Currently, as we speak, we are putting pressure on Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The world knows about it. Every week, you are seeing the work we are doing, even in countering their propaganda. Currently, as we speak, there were all eyes on the judiciary to the point that even when the Chief Justice traveled, it was uncovered, exposed, and deliberated on online. We don't have the list of the judges to handle our appeal case.
And let me tell you
Lawyers,
this thing.
let me land. It's a question. Lawyers already have come out and said this case can be handled in a week. How much pressure can we put directly on
Already
judiciary
right now.
with what we are doing already and the fact that we don't even have the lawyers to even put the pressure on or to
Do
even
you know the reason
investigate
why I
before they are
went to
put
the
on our
Supreme
case?
Court website? I went to the Supreme Court website to at least have a list of the names of the people we have in the judiciary, right?
We've done that on this space already. We've called those
Yes,
names out and we
my
already
team,
have
they
them in a
try to
dossier.
go and dig out where they are from, if we can get their children's name or whatever. We've been digging out for the past 2 weeks. Even in the dark net, we've scrubbed everywhere. These guys are literally ghosts, and it's as if they are a cult.
I was about to tell you, yes, you would find nothing. These are
And
judges of the
now,
Supreme Court.
we said, okay, let's even go back to the judiciary website today. That website is shut down, right? The point I'm trying to make is we have a face, which is our supreme, the CGN, which is Ariola, right? At least we have one name. We have one person that the box stops as his table. And I believe it is even the Ariola that will even pick these judges that will sit in the tribunal and all those things, right? So we have a face that we can be putting pressure on even before the thing starts. Because the way this judiciary works, if you wait for it to start before you start saying end it before May 29, right? If you wait for it to start, they will do 1 or 2 sittings and adjourn till July. And once they adjourn, they cannot resit again. You can't force them to resit again. Once they say, oh, we've adjourned till July or we've adjourned till August, that is the end of the matter. You've missed that window. So what I'm saying is that, fine, we are putting pressure, we are gathering and all those things. All efforts should be centralized into one goal. The goal is that this thing, whoever the judge is, we don't care. This thing should end before May 29th. That should be the one goal. Once we echo that one goal, all our big handles on the space, we keep tweeting about it, we keep creating hashtag every single day. The whole world is already aware Tinubu is a drug dealer. The whole world knows that topic. There's nothing you want to say or about Tinubu today that is new to the world. The people in power, they know. Biden knows Tinubu is a drug dealer. America, they know. FBI, they know. So we flogged that case. For me, what you should be doing now is flogging only one case, May 29, before May 29. Because like I said, that is where the real danger lies. If this tribunal starts,
End my politics, please. Can you wrap up in
okay,
10
yeah.
seconds?
If this tribunal starts and they adjourn in June or July, there is nothing you can do. So now, before it starts, whatever effort we are putting should be before May 29th. That is my own contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Much noted. I've written this down and it will be deliberated on. Cheers.
See, let me just mention something to what he said now. You said something that Tinubu knew all days before he ran for presidency. Of course, he did, and he knew he could buy his way out. I mean, they did the whole calculation, but they miscalculate. They didn't calculate the obedient movement. They didn't see it coming, and when we came, we were
Exactly.
underestimated. You see that calculation, that obedient movement is the headache. That is the board mass missing in their calculation. They did not see it coming. And for us to say Otilo when he enters, that means we are underestimating the power we have. We are underestimating the power we have.
God bless you, Jimmy.
In as much as people, whoever wants to protest should protest. I have no doubt in that. I mean, it's legit. You can do that. But you see, the point you made is legit. Let's put pressure on them. Let them end the case before May 2029. Before May 29. Let them end the case. It's valid. But the fact that Tinubu has had everything all planned out, no. He knows the obedience coming. We be the fishbone where they in neck right now. Did you see how much digging we did on his drug case? That thing is giving him high blood pressure. He said it himself. They abused the hell out of him and he went the hell out of social media. He didn't see us in that equation. He did not add us to that equation. He never. And the fact that they underestimated us. I love that part. We won in a landslide. They thought we rigged. You don't understand. They thought we rigged. My brother, you see, by June 1st, what is going to happen regarding this subsidy thing? It will be natural because when you don't go buy like you go buy 700 naira or 800 naira 1 liter, you can't reach out. They don't want gen. The small one where they there, you don't the manager they don't want gen before you reach. The one where they there, where you the manage, the plan say you go use for that night, they don't use and finish. See, the kind of fight will go happen within neighborhoods. Now you go turn to big one, go turn to protest. The anger that will come out of people, you see people where they come out and they talk, say, they don't bill them 13,000 naira per day on top boss. Subsidy never enter with that. Subsidy never enter. When subsidy enter, the pay, those ones go start their own, nobody go tell them. Those ones go start their own protest on its own. See, the kind of protest will go happen, it will be unifying protest. Now, what thing go happen? That is what people don't understand. Guys, let us not underestimate the worst thing where Tinubu go do. Hami. Now, Hami he go use. He know if he kill everybody within. I don't like the fact that because I'm not in Nigeria, I'm saying all these things. I'm just trying to be very, very careful because if I was in Nigeria, I'll be at the forefront. But right now, I think we should stick to what you said. Put pressure on the judicial system. Before the 29th of May, let them finish that that case rather. That is you have 100 on that. 100 on that. So I came up with the hashtag. People have been using it. Let us put more pressure on that. If you want to come up with another hashtag, do so. Let them know. We need this thing sorted out before that. If you want to rule in favor of Tinubu, let us know before then. If it's going to be in our own favor, let us know before then. But yeah, my brother, he didn't calculate us among these calculations. Thank you.
Just to buttress what Jimmy said, thank you very much for your submission. We can all agree. One of my favorite quotes is two truths can exist. So, two truths can exist that we can actually take something away from your submission, which is most of it. A lot of pressure needs to go on the judiciary. But also, another truth can exist. Your submission might need a bit of correction somewhere. And this is where Jimmy is very right. Nobody in their calculation thought about the obedient movement. Even we in the obedient movement did not think about disobedient movement. Why do I say this? The last major opposition in this country that managed to knock out the incumbent ruling party was the APC. Now, the APC used this same media they're using now. People are forgetting. It's the same Sahara reporters, the same Sowore, and these other minions. It's the same channels. Go and see the videos. All the impunity and all the wicked videos of APC mounting rubbish still has a young Shehu Okimbaloye in them. True or false? So it's always been the same people. Sometimes if you don't follow data, some things seem new. But it's always been the same Sheuna, hasn't it? So, like I said, the obedient movement was something nobody counted on. A true, genuine movement of pissed off Nigerians. One of the first things I had a problem with the APC was one of the first major polls that came out. Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC polled highest amongst Nigeria's most illiterate and poverty-stricken population. And if you know anything about numbers, that is not a place you want to be, even if they are the majority. It's not a place you want to be. Least of all, if you're intelligent, and you have a proper knowledge of right and wrong. So this movement is not something that should be downplayed. I would tell you, Yusuf Dati has already said what I believe. As long as that petition still exists, nobody will be made president of Nigeria, least of all Bola Tinubu. Because that is where even PDP as an opposition comes in. Is Atiku Sef going to lie down? Tinubu will be president. The position of president of Nigeria, president of Africa's largest army, president of the largest demographic graphy of Africans, president of Africa's largest country, is too powerful a position for somebody who is under trial to not be qualified for that position, to go and sit in that position in a hope to bring him down. So, like I said, Mahmoud Yakubu will not miss prison because he rigged Nigeria into a constitutional crisis. That is the problem with numbers. 1 + 1 is 2. If you remove 1, 1 is 1. 140 something thousand polling units nationwide, and then from what they are saying in the IREF, more than 60 something thousand pages mutilated. How is anyone going to be president with such an indices? So the same movement that has kept them on their toes, the same movement that has kept them complaining, today, what's the other guy came and dropped a new statement again. Let me read it for you guys. I just said there's no type of insult these people have not given us. Low, despicable Nigerians who lack good upbringing are eager to see us leave office on May the 29th. This is breaking news from Sahara reporters this morning or this afternoon by 2:22 p.m. Buhari's aide, Femi Adesina. Low, despicable Nigerians who lack good upbringing are eager to see us leave office on May 29th. Buhari's aide, Femi Adesina. This is what the APC thinks about you. You are low, you're a despicable Nigerian who lacks good upbringing. Go home and tell your parents. This is what Buhari, Femi Adesina, and Tinubu and the APC think about you. So, my brother, I have zero fears. Yusuf Dati has said it. They will postpone that handover ceremony till when the petition is ended, because you cannot be holding a man for robbery, then make the man owner of the store that was robbed while investigating him for robbery. What stops him from hiding the evidence, like you said? In this level of desperation, what stops them from before you know putting if they put two Igbo women now on the appeal committee, they'll bring Igbo agenda or kill them. What's with the amount of death and murder we've seen this period? So I believe something has to give. Yes, what you're saying is valid, But Olisa Bakoba, Father Matthew Coker, even the PDP, a lot of people are already fighting this May 29 thing, even down to the Labour Party. But like I said, this is a movie that we all have to follow to the end. And as long as the man that we are following is following this legally and has had a precedent before where his mandate was taken away from him, the person that took the mandate was even running as governor of the state, and it was removed from that person and returned back to the rightful person within the same Nigerian context. I have no fears. So even I won't lie, a bit of the fear mongering you threw here, I don't buy into it. Bad as it bad, God forbid, worst case scenario, even if they swear Bola Tinubu May 29th, I promise you that the day that petition is ended, because as the obedient movement, we are going to push for it to be handled as quickly and as expediently as possible. I repeat, even if he's made the Pope, the head of the Nigerian, president of Nigeria, head of Africa, president of the world, head of BRICS nations, when that mandate is removed from him and given to the rightful owner, he will be brought down. And I repeat, nothing will happen. The people that did not celebrate the day INEC selected him will not come and start fighting war the day INEC will bring him down. Because it's still the same INEC that collect the certificate from him, print the new one, and give to the new person. I yield. God bless you as you understand where I'm coming from. Cheers.
Sizzle, can I just say something quickly? Just 30 seconds, please, before the next person go. I agree with every point you've made, right? We have the power, we have the people, and all of that. I agree with all those points. I'm not disputing that fact, right? But I'm the kind of person that if I have a quick fix to an issue, right, I prefer taking that quick fix and solve my issue quickly than going the long road. For me,
I'm sorry, sir. What you're saying is not a quick fix.
no,
What
no,
you're saying is
no.
an 80% factual statement with a 20% delusion.
Yeah,
But the
what
20%
what I'm
delusion comes off louder than the 80%
no, what I'm
factual.
saying is
What?
this is what
Listen,
I'm
sir.
this
Please
is
listen, please. With all due respect, please. I'm a very intelligent person. Don't do this to my brain. Where you are right is where you are right.
no,
We
that is
do
what
need
I'm
to
saying. That
pressure
we
the
are saying,
judiciary.
wait,
One.
MC,
Hold on,
we are
hold
saying the
on,
same
hold
thing.
on, hold on. But that
Let
comes
me
with
finish my
specifics.
statement. You understand
That
where I'm
comes with
coming from.
specifics, sir. Hold on, we're on the same side. It comes with specifics. The pressure you're talking about for the judiciary is the pressure we are doing already. But the way you think that pressure should come, it's not the way the pressure will come. The pressure is coming from the fact that we are already telling the world that this person is already ineligible for this post. Let us start there first. Let the world understand that. That is more pressure on our judiciary. When 19 million people have understood that this person is a drug baron, oh yeah, you come out now, Supreme Court judge, and tell him to be president now. Come out now. Shana, you get mine pass. Run him now. And I'm also telling you that we cannot do. Look, a problem I envision, quote me, is that when the list of the judges that will sit on this thing will come up, the judges who are not Yoruba or Northerners will face tribalist issues. That is another place that we as obedience need to save our energy, especially when that will come up. Because they will believe that any judge that is Igbo, any judge that is Delta, any judge that is Edo, is not going to vote in their favor. Being labeled as a headless mob, so you have to also be careful. These are the people that are going to judge your case. You want to start bomb rushing them with emails now. What will you say in the email? Hello, we are in court with you as Peter Obi's people and obedience. Make una do normal. You want to piss them off before the trial date? What we are doing is calculated, it makes sense, and it's non-arrestable under the DSS because we are working with facts and figures. But once you start putting us to start working with emotions, that is when people start getting arrestable. So I understand where you're coming from. There should be pressure on the judiciary, not just how you think it should be done at the moment, considering there are people who are protesting, and for every time Peter Obi has showed up at the Supreme Court, there has been a crowd of obedience. There were a crowd of obedience that stopped the Lamidi Apapa takeover at the Labour Party. So we are facing fights from different angles. Please understand, and so far so good. This movement has held tight. We are the first movement. APC only had to fight PDP. We are the first movement fighting APC and PDP. So I will not even spread my warriors too thin. Please understand. We are fighting physically and we're also fighting perceptions. How we fight or how we defend ourselves with these Supreme Court judges matter. At this point, I'm not supporting anybody going to Google their children or anything like that. Facts. I yield, my brother. We're on the same side. I hope you understand where I'm coming from one more time. Zos, can
See,
we pick the next person?
I
All right.
understand. Let me just respond 30 seconds, right? I
My
get
bro,
what you're
please free
saying.
this issue, I beg. Please free him.
No,
Walk in the
no, no.
spirit with me and
Sisu,
free him.
I beg. Let him just take 30
Okay,
seconds,
no
please.
wahala.
All right.
Cheers.
See, I understand where you're coming from, right? All I'm saying is this. Right now, we're talking about broadcasting the tribunal live, right? That is us applying pressure. So all I'm saying is, as we're putting pressure, whatever means we're putting, it should be two. As we're saying, broadcast the tribunal live, we should also include finish the tribunal before May 29th, right? And that is the quick fix I'm talking about. I prefer to solve an issue which the lawyers have said this is a quick fix. We can have a quick fix within a week. I prefer to achieve that than to say, okay, let me gamble on waiting and it's swelling and we are going to reclaim it and all those things. That is the quick fix I'm talking about. That, okay, whatever powers we have, I know we have powers, right? Whatever powers we have, as we are putting pressure to say, okay, televise this thing live, we should not also forget to say, okay, do this thing before May 29th, because the lawyers have said
Excuse me,
it's
sir.
possible.
There's something you're forgetting.
So
There's
that's all
something
I'm
you're
saying.
forgetting, and it's something that should keep all of us humble in this movement. Please remember, there is a man that is running for this move, that is running. If all of us in this movement do not do anything, a man, Peter Obi, is in court, paying for the court process. You are not. We did not crowdfund for that part of the journey. Do you get me, sir? So we always need to be humble, especially in the way there's a man already in court with more than 20 SANs on this matter, that even if all of us don't do anything, Peter Obi is already in court. This is his headache. So please, I want us to remember this sometimes and be humble. Before we even go and mess up what he's planning, we are doing what we are doing. We are doing what we are doing well. And let us stick to what we are doing. Like I said, the header of what you're saying is very right. There should be pressure on the judiciary. The body of what you're saying is where you are failing in the technicalities based on how you're saying we should do it. I'm sorry, but what we are doing as is pressure on the judiciary already. Anything more than this, you start to play into the gallery of what these people are saying we are. Please, I hope you understand where I'm coming from. And if you really understand, you would listen to understand and not listen to reply. Because if I say something and within 5 seconds of what I'm saying, you need 30 seconds to reply me, that means you didn't even listen to what I said. And I need you to understand that. Two
Right.
truths can exist. I yield. Jeez.
Right. Sisu, I heard what you said. I heard what NBAR politics. The thing is, you both are saying the same thing. Honestly, you both are saying the
Exactly.
same thing. Yeah. So, but anyways, let's just leave it at that. Let me just mention this real quick. I can see people writing in the section. Sorry, the comment section. Someone wrote, it is disappointing to know no one is making any effort to get the list of the judges. We keep giving excuses. I beg, what till they do? You wait type this one now. What till they do? Why can't you just do it? Because people just throw this sense of responsibility on others, and you're not ready to take any. You're not ready. You don't know what we're doing. We don't know. You don't know what we're doing at the background. And let me say this for the record. This is Vawulence space. It's not an echo chamber for the obedient. It is for other parties, but not for obedient. You can come up here and come up with your ideas and give your submission, right? Nobody is holding you back from doing anything. Nobody is holding you back. Whatever you want to do, you can go ahead and do it. But one thing I want you guys to always remember is there's a reason why people prefer to come on Vawulence space. You believe what we say here is legit. We have good connections with the top men running this party, and we know whatever it is we give here, whatever we see people come on our space here to just speak to us. Do you think they just hit the space randomly? We have people in the PCC. We have people in Big Tent. It will be misleading for us to go against what Peter Obi doesn't want. He's not going to tell you not to go. We're not even telling people don't go out to protest. We're not just going to do that on this platform. And we know the reason why we're saying we're not going to do that on this platform. But we're supporting anybody that wants to do. So, again, I still believe you are underestimating your power if you think when this guy wins, you can't get him out. Or you see, I don't know what you guys think you have, but if you don't understand, to me, it's like I'm seeing it out of the box. I'm in America. And they see what they happen for Nigeria. I think seeing things out of the box gives you a different perspective. I can tell you that these guys are scared. I can tell you from my own view, I'm not sure about any other diasporans. From my own perspective, these guys are scared. But the kind of news that circulates within Nigeria, they are being controlled. The news we get, we the diaspora, the news we don't even get some news before people within Nigeria.
God bless you.
They are censoring the kind of news you guys get. It's circulating on WhatsApp, on text messages, but the news we get is unfiltered. Before they had propaganda tweets, we see these things. So we are not stupid. When you come to this space, we give you facts and figures, and it will be very misleading for us to tell you to go and do something that would jeopardize the movement. It's not going to happen.
Or even spread paranoia within obedience.
Yeah.
It's not here.
We
I'm
heard
sorry.
a lot of
Tweet
things
it on your
before the
timeline. I
election.
won't stop you.
We heard a lot of things before the election. We didn't say it to people. People no go come out. People no go come out if we talk am. But we faced it. That is the whole point. We're not stopping anybody from doing these things. Honestly speaking, we are not. We will support you if you want to do it. But we're letting you know. I keep saying it. What is going on right now has never happened before. So we will see. We are doing what no one has done before. We will see what no one has said before. If you're saying we're not going to take out a sitting president, well, wait till then. You wait till then. You think it has the power to... The people are the power. We say all these things, you think it's just words. Another person is saying there, they say, all we are talking is English. Okay, no, Allah, let's wait till then. All we are talking is English. So what do you want us to talk? We want, maybe they use Egun they talk. Okay, now one go
A man that even with rigging could rig 8 million out of 24 million people. Then all of a sudden, no wahala.
We have overestimated them. He did not win. You know, see what they couldn't even rig professionally. Tipex, we see them. These are the people we are now afraid of. We don't see them finish. We don't see them finish.
It took Nigerian youth 12 days unarmed in Lagos to dismantle 2 toll gates. Until now, they've not been able to put those toll gates back. They don't even get the mind. We don't carry gun.
NSAS happened.
Telling me
they
what?
told us join government. We don't join government now. We don't join politics. Rather, we win Nuna for politics now. We won't carry and go. See what is going on right now. You have market people asking the youth, when is the protest? People are ready to go and protest. And this time around, it's not just youth. Now everybody, Tom, Dick, and Harry, old people go join self. The country is not working. I don't know what people don't understand. Or you think people will just go back to their day-to-day activities where subsidy go come out? They are still killing people in Kaduna.
A village got up and protested and killed bandits and killed 50 of them in one night.
I saw the news.
Have you ever heard that happen in Nigeria before? Okay, keep playing.
50 of them. So look, the thing is, they know they've bamboozled our parents with all these, soldier harassment and all those things. Fella don't use and sing. Nobody won't die. But you see, this time around, we have nothing. Are you living a life in Nigeria? People are not living in that country. People are not living. They don't understand what is going on right now. Peter Obi knows what is. I gave a submission yesterday. If you want to do protest and you want to be careful about it, you can go ahead and do it. And I suggested to them, I said, have a conference and make it bold and clear. Say it to people. Any obedient where they catch, they loot, may they arrest them and nobody go bail them. Any obedient where they fight, because if they want to infiltrate anybody, that is what they do. They go around and fight and just wear obedient t-shirt. They go print obedient t-shirt for them just to infiltrate and discredit the movement. So, but if you want to, I just give them the advice. Make a press conference, call TV channels, call everybody. Anybody where Olopa can say they fight, because the people going out are not going there to fight. They are going for peaceful protest. Hold your hands, hand in hand. Walk on the street, do whatever you want to do, but the conference is important. So anybody we then catch, that plan is dead on arrival. Then you can go ahead with your peaceful.
Lovely idea.
What I'm concerned about is having a peaceful protest. But the people we are dealing with, they are demons. They are ready to infiltrate. But when you give that conference that whoever they catch, so may they know now, say they catch some people, they say they be obedient. Now their own wahala be that one. Now their own wahala. So regarding that, bro, I understand. You have a valid point. We'll start, pressurizing them with the hashtag. We move on with that. Thank you so much. That was a beautiful one. Zos, back to you now.
All right. I think we've latched on this conversation for quite a long time, so we should keep it moving quickly. Mr. Justus, you have been missing in action. Your fine is waiting for you, Mr. Justus. Please unmute your mic and drop your offering, sir. Mr. Justus. Okay, Mr. Justus.
Yes, I'm here. Even though I'm driving, I'll button. Good evening, my dear people.
Mr. Justus, I think you should get where you're going and you can come back. Or have you cleared somewhere? I wouldn't like you driving and giving your submission.
Beautiful. So let me speak maybe after two persons, have gone.
Fantastic. No, when you're ready, just maybe put your hands up and we'll get back to you. I promise. Please. Just for safety reasons.
All right. Thank you.
We're here for you.
Okay, Ejikeme, then you go next. Ejikeme, and then after Ejikeme, we'll take Sewen. Ejikeme.
Yes, thank you, Zos. Thank you, Sizzle. Thank you, Emir Saddam. Jimmy, my brother. Thank you all for keeping it 100. There are no facts, there are no levels or there are no stages to this drug dealing, criminal element in the name of Bola Ahmed Tinubu that doesn't bring disgrace, despair, shame, and disappointment to not only Nigeria as a country, but to Africans and the black race, being the most populous black democratic country in the world. And I say it again, there is no level of disgrace that we will not encounter within this trying time in our democracy. And I make this submission based on the fact that, what was brought to the purview today, a lot of people just looked at it as certificate forgery. One of those things that can just be thrown out, right, in the court. But Sizzle, honestly, and you and Emir Saddam, the level you have expanded this perjury case, to be very honest, this alleged selected candidates by INEC should actually go from being INEC select in the court to going straight to jail. We cannot have a candidate time and again has been x-rayed to have discrepancies in his gender, issues with his age. Like here right now, we have seen 3 different dates of birth, issues with his certificates, be it nursery, primary, secondary, or university. My goodness, issues with his identity, supersede or, be the Lord and Master of 200 and something million Nigerians in this democratic time and age. It is very, very unfortunate. It is very shameful. So I join my voice amongst a vast majority of Nigerians, both in the diaspora and in the Nigeria, to plead with our judiciary to please look into these matters. The issues of perjury should be decided almost immediately. Let us have a case of David Leon and the rest in Bayelsa. This calls for, this is a matter of national security. I mean, how much more can we drum this to the ears of those that should listen? Right? This is serious. We can have a criminal, convicted criminal, take those sacred oaths. We can't have it. Please, we can't have it. Right now, nobody knows his whereabouts. Nobody knows what is going on. We just see 2-3 seconds videos of a sham of a being somewhere. So I join my voice in saying it is possible for us to start. I'm already hearing that the tribunal may kickstart any moment from next week. Yes, let's have that tribunal kickstart. And let us start hearing these petitions and these prayers immediately. We can have somebody who has gone against our laws. Perjury is serious. Perjury is really serious. We can't have somebody who has gone against our laws take those sacred oaths. That is the highest travesty. That is the worst part of our democracy. That is the very day democracy will die, whether we want to accept it or not. But Baba Ahmed just went on channels and made it clear. And he said it with his name and his full chest that he's taking no risks. And I think I believe in what he's saying. And he's saying the right thing. He's only saying his on the basis of the Constitution. I am saying mine now on perjury and criminal forfeiture. We can't have such a human being take those sacred oaths. Any judge that administers those oaths with all this overwhelming evidence has invariably also invalidated all the judgments. I said this last week. All the judgments he has given and had sentenced criminals to jail, probably sentenced people to die, or for any different sentences in his courts. So let us consider this case a serious case of national importance and start treating it well and right. We cannot have this. Nigerians do not deserve this kind of candidacy, this kind of tag. I have said it and I will keep saying it. There are several Nigerians, just like Elijah in the Bible thought that he was the only person who hadn't kissed Baal. There were several Nigerians, millions of them, both in domestic and in foreign lands, who have not committed 1/10 of what this particular candidate has done. And they do not deserve this level of disgrace and embarrassment. Democratic and international, local and international. Please. So we need to start taking this case seriously. Every day we come on this space and we hear one other damning, revelation of this criminal element that should not, under any guise, under any mago, take those oaths. That's my own. He shouldn't take those oaths. So whatever they're going to do, well, whether if Barry's tenure ends by 29th, and of course I wish he does, and he goes away, I don't even mind swearing in the Senate president as acting president pending the determination of these cases. It will become the day the democracy will die if Bola Ahmed Tinubu, with all these cases confirmed, takes those oaths. That is my own submission. Thank you very much. I yield the mic.
All right, thank you, Ejikeme. 7, please, can you come in here now?
Yes. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Everyone on the speaker session, the host, the co-host, everyone. I have listened, and I don't know why some people are afraid. Like, what are you scared of? What are you really scared of in the real sense of it? Because you're not lying about this person. Someone asked me some days ago, he said, he was one of the scared people. He said, what do you think would happen with this case? Do you think we have a chance? I said, the only thing that these people did not envisage is the tenacity of the obedience. They never believed there was any backing, because before now they've been rigging. This is not the first time they've done this shit, but we've always thought about it's two bad eggs, so why worry ourselves? It's the more wicked one, or the more mean one that will win. But this is the first time we've seen an option and we stood by this option, and you tell us that something happened. I know that they gave us third so as to dampen our spirits, so we don't even go to court. Third person, like, you don't even need to worry yourself. These guys had it planned from day one. However, we have a principal who knows what he is doing. So why bother? Everything we are doing here will not take a thing out of what Peter Obi is already doing. He would, like, the man is too calculated for all the nonsense APC is trying to throw at him. He's calculated. This is not his first rodeo. And I say often, God put him through all the things he's been through for a day like this. It is not a mistake. So, obedience, calm down. Yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that. Don't jeopardize anything. Don't say things you don't mean. Don't mean things you would not want anybody to quote you on. I would rather say that we should do something. Stay focused on the plan at hand. Watch the judiciary with all of your heart. At the end of the day, we will get justice. So, pata, it will take us 9 months, but we'll get justice before this time. I am so secure in my spirit that I know that this one, they cannot take it. Let them buy all the influencers in the world. They cannot win this one, because they did not envisage me. They did not envisage us. They did not envisage Emir Saddam. They did not envisage any of us. They did not envisage investigator Jimmy. Their father. Look at, there is no way any of these things will work out the way they plan. I have blocked. Thanks to the updates here, I've been blocking. Anybody that makes any stupid comments, I block you. Even if you make a comment on another person's comment that is making no sense, I block you. I don't want to be seeing evil people trying to make sense. Okay, he's trying to butt in, but don't worry, my own voice is the louder voice. In the true sense of it, there is no way they are winning this, because see, Nigeria has suffered. We've been through a lot. Like, I've been on this matter of elections for 2 years, and someone will tell me they want to thief what thing I don't do put on my head like a pong for 2 years. Then they craze. It is not happening. Relax. Peter Obi is capable. His lawyers are extra capable. You will know by the kind of petition they put in. They are not joking. And these guys can run like headless chicken. We no send them. Abuse us all you can, call us whatever names. It does not change the fact that you are still the daft set of people, because you went to school, but your head cannot be correct. You are just using your head for things that don't make sense. I've blocked all my old school mates that don't have sense, because you went to school, you went to university, but you say your head is not correct. Like, how dare you? How dare you be letting your head be used by people that did not go to school? People that are criminals. It pain me every day, but I just tell myself, be resolute, we will win this. They never saw this coming. And one way or the other, whether the judiciary likes it or not, their head is not all incorrect. That's the wonderful thing. I have spoken to some of them, and they know deep down that this thing they work like the way people they think and for their head. Not all of them are corrupt. Yes, they will bring out cases against them. Every submission about who this shapeshifter of a human being is correct. I've known this man I'm from Lagos State. I've known this man for too long. And I wonder why people still believe in him. Like, why? Why are people controlled by money? Money will go soon finish. I know maybe people try to tell me you are from these states. Align. I've met his family members. So it's easy if I want to align. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. How much money would they give you for you to sell out? Sell out your future, sell out your own child's future, your future. They pain me. But anyway, I know we'll make this and we'll get out of this as victors. We'll get out of this as victors. Thank you. I yield the mic.
Thank you very much, Seven, for that submission. Please stay true to the cause. We need to apply pressure on these guys. Rather, let me rephrase. We are already applying pressure on them. Otherwise, you will not see handles like Time Magazine or even Uber Facts or Rolling Loud making out tweets. It is the pressure that we are applying that is making them run helter skelter, jumping from pillar to post to try and whitewash their image. What we are doing is very sound. That's my honest opinion. I will not support I will not support us going to get the list of the judges' children's names because that's actually going extreme and you're just setting up yourself, to be honest, but what we are doing, the online pressure we are putting on them, the exposure that we are giving them would at least give them some sense to make the right decision. Mind you, anything that they are doing now, they are putting in mind that visa ban is awaiting them. So nobody in their right senses will want to be involved in something that will warrant a visa ban. So please, let's just keep putting that pressure. What we're doing is wonderful. Yes, we will apply more pressure, definitely. So that's my own take. All right, Mr. Justice, I see your hand up now. You can come in, sir.
Thank you so much, my brothers and dear sisters on this space. You guys have done extremely well, holding the fort, making sure that there is no blinking for one moment. And let me announce to you that the immense work you do, you coordinate. Let me say, you coordinate from the violence space, is shaking the enemies of Nigeria to their marrow. Forget the intermittent tweets they make. These guys are scared. Life is scared out of them. They know that their only source of, resources, most of them, are all of them. Can you name one person that is deeply associated with APC, with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that is not a criminal? Can you name one person that, does not have so many baggages, on him? Can you name one person? None. So these guys are scared. They know that their hands on the cookie jar is being hit violently, by the amount of information you churn out, to the world concerning their arrowhead, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And they know that they cannot sustain what, they have stolen from you people. They cannot retain it possibly. So what they are doing is trying to gaslight, the obedient movement, trying to, give us a bad name so that, they will be scared. But I thank God for your resilience. You've maintained unimaginable consistency, and these people know that they are losing it. If not, like someone said earlier, I think it was Sizu that made that comment. Can you possibly imagine a government at its twilight, you know, stealing Nigerian resources like there is no tomorrow, like Nigeria is ending today. Can you imagine the amount of resources this government, are, officials are frittering away at this almost at this tail end of their government? Look at these people said it's $800 million that are going to share to 50 million 10 million households. On 10 million unknown households in Nigeria. Let anybody that knows any household that is registered with them mention one. 10 million unknown households. This is how they are. Look at 21 billion on a stadium that has been in existence. Renovation, not building a new stadium. What do you think is making them, everybody is looking the other way while every other person is trying to, amass as much as possible? Because they know that it's not sure that they're returning what they have stolen. And again, make no mistake about this. Mr. P2B is not a man you joke with. His resilience in fighting a cause that he believes in cannot be matched. I was here when his mandate was stolen in Anambra State. Nobody ever believed that it was possible at that time for a mandate to be reclaimed. It never happened in Nigeria before. It never happened. But Peter, like he's doing today, he never insulted anybody. He never quarreled. He always called for calm. Even when people were trying to persuade him, leave it. After all, he's your brother from the same senatorial district, and you have age on your side. At that time, Peter was just barely above 40. Leave it. Time is on your side. After his tenure, when it reverts back to the central, it's a sure bet for you. Peter didn't listen to any of those, uh, 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 sermons. He maintained his grounds and pursued his mandate. That's why we have Governor Peter Obi demonstrate what he could do for the Anambra, and all of us, were witnesses and to what this man can do when given the levers of governance. Anambra knew a new style of governance under Peter. And then, this time again, the Nigerian people wholeheartedly, overwhelmingly gave their mandate to Mr. Peter. Forget all their shenanigans. Of course, it was so obvious. It's not just that they rigged the election. They rigged it so childishly that one can even be ashamed of them, that they couldn't even rig election and rig it properly. Look at the mutilation, the falsification, barefaced falsifications of result sheets, using TPAs, adding figures in such a ways that the thing was so obvious and glaring. Now, Peter has gone to court. His case, I've read this petition, I've read the APC's response. Peter's petition is unassailable. As a matter of fact, they didn't make any attempt at responding to the issues Peter raised. As you can see for yourself, all they tried to do is to say he is not a member of LP. He was not qualified to have become their candidate in the first place. That was the argument. If you look at the document, this drug document, they're not denying it. They're not saying Tinubu did not commit the crime. But they're simply saying it didn't happen in Nigeria. So what are they saying? They're saying that if it's ascertained that Tinubu committed criminal infraction of such magnitude in America, that should not be a disqualifying factor. Someone that has drug record should be our president. Let's wait for the judiciary. And I want to salute the obedience in a special way. We sidestepped effectively a time bomb by listening to Peter when he called for calm. I am very sure that the APC people are disappointed that we didn't hit the streets, because that is where they were waiting for us to hit the streets, so that they will cause untold mayhem and blame it on us. But They can't find anything. All they can do is to try to call us names. You're calling them fascists. Fascists for what? For doing things that you had done worse things in the past. What? What exactly? So let me encourage us to remain calm, but continue in pushing out, the ills of these people, like we have been consistent in doing. They know that at the end of the day, they lost it and they cannot keep it. Reclaiming our mandate is certain. As for trying to expose the children of the judges, that for me also that is a no-no. That's not necessary. What is necessary is for us to keep our searchlight on them. I know that some of them, their children are even obedient. So it will be unfair to those kids who may not have done anything on their own, accord, as private individuals, of Nigerian descent. We cannot, expose them to ridicule because of the crimes or the error their parents may have committed, which they may not
Oh,
be in support of.
Oga Justo, sorry to interject. I mean, what end bad politics was referring to by having contact of the kids, not to harm them, reaching out to them, say, talk to daddy, talk to mommy. We are the Nigerian people are looking up to them. It's not to harass them. We will know way better than that. We can't just do that out of the blue. So I mean, he has spoken about it many times. So I know what he means by that. So and that's the reason why I'm speaking now to stand on his behalf because he has
It's
spoken
all
about
right.
it
I
before.
think
Yeah,
I think it's good. It's good you're setting the record straight because they will go out and say we are planning evil against the children of. Here,
true,
what is
true.
so amazing about this space is that I have been here seeing how we roll. People, so even me, if I misfire, it will not be hard for anybody here to stand up to me and tell me, okay, this is not what we're talking about. Even if it is Saddam that is on the edge and veering off the street, you can see how, Sizzle or anybody or those will bring him back. It's so amazing. I've never seen this kind of beautiful organization, in Nigeria before. Guys are doing Nigeria. Even them, they envy. They in their private, gatherings, they speak so highly of you. So keep it up. At the end of the day, the mandate they stole must be reclaimed for them. And the process of rebuilding Nigeria will start in earnest. Thank you, and God bless you. I will yield the mic here and continue listening. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Justice, for that kind words of encouragement. Okay, let's go. Kolade. Kolade, you've been here for a very long time now. Can you unmute your
Thank
mic
you
and
so much, Zos. Oga Emir, thank you. Sizu, may God continue to bless the level of your wisdom. May you continue to increase. That's a prayer for you. Oga Jimmy, I hail you. Well, for me, sincerely, this platform, I just love the level of intellectual debate that happens right here. It really speaks volume to who exactly we are. This is not a regular thing, and that speaks to why we are saying all we are saying today. Believe with me, the both APC and PDP are in disarray. That is the honest truth. Within the APC themselves, right now, they know there is fire on the mountain. They know, there is no doubt about it. Because they know, look, it's only a blind. Some of them, as in the elite among them, they are learned. They know these things. Even within their party caucus, they know this is a big mess. But everybody is just like, well, there's nothing they can do. It's beyond them. They didn't see this coming. And all this happened because of what? Because of this movement, because of this noise, because of this pressure. This pressure is so much that I can say it that the judiciary right now, they would think twice before they do anything, on think of. So I think we're on track. I also support wholeheartedly for us to continue at this pace at which we are going, because anything outside that might be hijacked or might be interpreted for something else. And before now too, I was thinking in another direction, but today I got to also think about it that truly let us leave the judges' children out of it for now. So because yeah, people will say things. We don't. This is general public. We are saying, oh, if you say we should reach out, somebody might reach out in the name of obedience and say what is not. So there we can't say, we can't control what people are going to say. So I support that, and thank you to everybody for that. Lastly, I'm going to say this: a PDP is silent because what do you want them to say? They don't have the people. We are the people. We are with Labour Party. So what do you want PDP to say? And they know they did not win. They know they are the one, even they are telling us that we want this place, we want that place, we want that place. So what do you want them to say? So please, let's just leave PDP out of it. But one thing is certain: no matter how long this mandate, we're going to get it back, and we should just keep pushing it. We should just keep encouraging everyone. And at the end of it all, we all, one thing is certain: Nigeria shall not remain the same again. Nigeria can never remain the same again. With what has started, with what I'm hearing, what people are saying, let's forget it. It's no longer business as usual. Politicians will begin to think twice before they say they want to run for any political office, and which is which is what should have happened. Thank you, everyone. I yield the mic.
Thank you very much, sir. God bless you so much. All right, let's take a lady. We'll go with Mary White, and then after that we'll take Nello.
Zos, I don't know if this Sparkle has been here. They were waving their hands before, so I don't know. But if you want me to go, I can go.
Yeah, Mary White, just go.
Okay. Hi everyone. He or she is still waving their hands. I don't know why, but I
He
could. He okay. So okay, I'll go. If you say I'll go. So hi, Wonder Mother, how are you? I like the way you're cooking today. Thanks for your submission. Zos, hi. Jimmy, my in-law. Huh? In-law. You guys never disappoint me. Thanks. And Sadaf, hi. Nello, my sister. I'm happy you're up here with me because for a bit I was not that I love my guys though. It was a bit like it was guys for a long time. But thanks for being up here with me. So my thing is like for the topic today. I think we all know we've all been up on the Tinubu's perjury thing, and we all know, even the party knows that he's perjured, and I don't know how they're gonna get out of it. But my thing is like I do agree with what Zoe said, that we're really doing good online. We own the online space, and I think we should continue to do what we're doing. Because as we know, we don't need anyone. We don't need big handles to get people to talk about what we want. We do it on our own. Because as we know currently, I'm not gonna say the space. There's a space going on now by a big head guy who's on channels whose only time he remembers journalism is whenever he sees LP candidates come, and he's part of, I think, a co-host. Uh, so I'm saying that we should continue doing what we're doing because we're doing really good. So and I know I do also agree with what Sizzle said, that we should listen to our principal PO, and we should follow actually his direction, which now is we should wait for the court um, to take its course, the judiciary to take its course, wait for the outcome of the judiciary, and then we could do whatever we want to do afterwards. And uh, like everything that has always been said here, no one is stopping anyone from doing whatever you feel is the right thing to do. I think we're all doing good at this particular point in time. And regarding PDP silence, what do we expect from a party which actually rigged the election? And we know that the only reason why they didn't win was that APC rigged them, which I don't think they saw it coming. So I'm not surprised that they are uh, quiet at this point in time. And at that point, I also, because currently we could see also what's going on. I think today there was an election that was held in Akwa Ibom, and the ones that are actually okay. I think I'm gonna end right now, and but I'll just say that let's keep doing what we're doing, and with God on our side, we will get the new Nigeria that we've always dreamed for, which is a Nigeria that is um, for each and every one of us. And that note, I'll say thanks everyone and God bless.
Thank you very much, Mary White. Okay, let's take Sparkle. Sparkle, and please, if you want to speak, put your hands up.
Yeah,
Sparkle,
good
after
day,
you, then we
good day,
take
good day,
Bello.
good day, everybody. Um, I will start with artificial intelligence (AI). If you dey follow AI, you know say like these jobs that we don't have in Nigeria is gonna get fucking worse in like a year or 2 years time. So it dey pain me say we leave what we supposed to talk about, and they talk about a criminal because of one just rest or stay one place, because things are moving very fast in the world right now, that what we are talking about is just it dey pain say we talk about this thing because of this
Baba,
man.
even was the state minister for labor. They online, they defend Tinubu. He never tweet one thing where youth feel use get job. He no get anything on SMEs.
And
We don't
this
understand
one
his budget. He has not
this
told us
one
what
we
he
dey
has spent
complain,
money on in the last 10 months for labor
and
in
this
this
one
country. Oh.
this
God
one we
bless
dey
you.
complain about. All the few white collar jobs go soon go with artificial intelligence.
Festus
If you dey
Keyamo is
follow am.
minister for labor. Oh. State minister for labor. Okay, oh. No wahala.
So so it will be a very hard journey, and we don't need a drug dealer. Another reason why we don't need a drug dealer is that, what I like it to note, Tinubu file dey for Biden office or whoever dey oversee their foreign affairs, whatever. From the day he decided to contest, not even winning, from the day APC nominate him as their candidate, the files about him, the files about whoever they contest, United States, that's how they do. They will just, anyone will get very big debts, especially something you committed on their soil, they will keep them for you. And they have things we don't even know about, I believe. You understand? They do these things to get bargaining chip over presidents, leaders, you understand? So their interests will be protected in the country, no matter what. Now them tell go dictate within the leader go do, unto say they have so many damning files. And if the leader refuse to play ball, they will put international, they'll bring out all the files, put international warrant on him. When he leaves the country, he may get arrested. They will do embargo on the country, as in inflation, as in what they do Cuba and this other country. So there are so many things they can use. So that's why if you want to go elect president, it's better in commit genocide for your own country self than to go do drug for United States. And United States don't fuck with this drug issue. Funny enough, especially when it gets to heroin, you understand, because of the dangers. You can see what even what they call them, these others, fentanyl, they destroy lives like actively in United States right now, like people they die. You understand? And it's a very big issue for them. So this guy is a drug baron that forfeited almost $500,000. Do you know what's 500,000? Those days, my papa them, I believe they money they buy motor no reach 2,000 naira that period, 10,000 naira that time. Now somebody forfeit almost $500,000. Do you know what you commit to forfeit that amount? So, and you guys are talking about the case of
Almost
Perjury.
350 million naira today.
At that time, say you for tax, what are you waiting be your work where they pay that amount of tax? What are you doing? Even the world richest man then cannot pay that tax at a go. You understand? So when it gets to Perjury, you understand, some people have concerns that we don't take it very serious. And there's a reason why people didn't take it serious. Me self, I fall into that trap. When somebody don't commit, there's so many baggages, you understand? Some go on they sound as if they're important. You understand? When people hear saying life for court, people don't know how important it is and how damning it is. People go take and say is a little crime compared to the kind of things that the man they do. You understand? So a person like P2B commit perjury now is a very serious problem. The way it go happen, but so I don't really blame most people that didn't even look into the matter. The fact that that's the strongest case we even have, and people didn't look into it, you can't say the man, there is no, he has committed, even Emperor Nero of Rome self, that kind of thing. At least Even the Nero self, we know his parents. At least we know he know his parents. We know where I'm from. You know, in father, everything is that. This guy is just, saying. So I don't blame people that didn't take the perjury case serious. Case plenty. Then APC, the problem with APC is that the old cargos and the old people, they've done things a certain way. It has worked for them for so long. With that, they don't believe. Social media has changed so many things. They don't want to believe it. Old crooks, they've decided to stick to their old plan. If it's working, if it's not working, they will gaslight their way. True. They have been gaslighting. Last 2015, I supported President Buhari, you understand? And that's due to most gas lies. Now this election I discovered so many things I believed then that were total bullshit and lies. I didn't know. Some people that I even hated till today, I didn't know it was just lies. They propagated against those people then. So that's what had worked for them before. So they believe. So that's why now, even if the young ones among them, no matter how stupid those ones they too, at least they go good schools. They really know what happened for the world. You understand me? They don't even take advice from those ones. They will still control them. The old ones will control the young ones that they're supposed to listen to. You understand? So it's just like that. When they inflate the bill, they steal all the money. They won't even give their supporters the support, the people that are going to fight the social media battle. They don't give them anything. Somebody with billions of people you are fighting, most of them are better than you and not even stay in the country in the first place. So you see, hatred is another form, is the worst form of stupidity. When you hate too much, you
People
start
like
behaving
Top
stupid.
Boy Chris, they go support Wike finish. Wike will go and drink one cognac, 9,000 pounds. I can swear he has never given any of his supporters 9,000 pounds before.
I stay in Port Harcourt. I grew for Port Harcourt. The moment for I know Wike been stay for back of my place. I know in trajectory and everything when you do. I know the way he functions. You understand? This thing you're saying is just the truth. He doesn't even they pay. Now imagine I saying when it comes to he got you strong man. He only paid judges. Wike pay where Wike money they go. When in money, he knows judges are the final people that will decide anything from elections to anything. So in the reserving block for judges in River State, he built many judges lodge, accommodation, all those things them for lawyers. They take care of them. So when it comes INEC and judges, but all these other small crooks, just you got put list. I know how they happen. Your right people go write name for lists, 10,000, sometimes all those like that. So that's how it happens. They don't know that, okay, see Oshomole and all the old crooks, all their old files, they're still fighting with it today. See FFK, things when don't talk. Now you cannot see anything on Twitter. People will go on your comments and paste what you said, things you've done. And these men now don't know what to do. Then the young ones that are supposed to look at what's happening and say, this is a problem. Oh, let me not get myself involved in this. You people, the young APC people think they are doing us. You're fighting truth. You're online, you just they put a print of the evil for your children, for you. When later when you come out to come do something, you don't change. For example, now you want come out for something, people now bring up for you, be as if they don't like you. But when you are doing it, they are telling you, you will not listen. It be as if you are trying to do something. I don't know the mentality behind that. So let me just end my submission here. So if you're here and you work for the APC, just try get small sense. If you're even doing it, don't use your face. You understand? Get small sense. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Sparkle. Nello, please can you come in here now? Nello, please butt in. Nello,
Yeah,
head butter.
you know me now. It's Nkosi that is always butting in, but that girl. Hi everyone. Can you hear me? Please, because I'm using my